All right, sorry about that, guys. You should be able to hear me now, and soon you'll be able to hear Bob too.
Is this
It's
louder?
really loud. All right, sorry guys about that delay in audio. Should be good now.
I just realized this. I didn't realize my Razer actually has digital and analog. And I've been using digital, but hold on. I don't know if there's a difference. So, well,
Jesus, that's loud.
I'm sorry.
Sorry to the live-looking listeners. I'm
Sorry,
wearing
guys.
headphones, and I can't imagine if you have that turned up really loud. I don't think
This is digital.
I don't think the Razer stuff's working because every time you do it, it just sounds even worse. So, like, it makes your audio sound really bad.
What? What makes it sound really bad?
When you're doing all like the different settings or whatever.
It's the same thing. It was just different volumes.
I know, but you would like when you said like something about like how about this, and it was like how about that. It was like weird, but it's just louder. But it also sounded like it was coming through a little funky.
Okay, right now, this is option A. Listen to option A.
It sounds like an
This
ear rape.
option B.
That's better.
What? Option B is better.
Yeah.
This is better.
It's
not this.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn you down though. There we go. All right.
Well, so that's why it wasn't letting me. You started this. Just remember that.
I started it because of something you did.
I didn't do it. What? Because I moved in a place that I have to have a window air conditioner.
I mean, is that my fault too? How is that my fault? Anyone in the live stream that wants to answer this week's weekly poll, if you didn't already do it, it is what is your favorite type of park merchandise? It's kind of a broad question. A lot of people replied with shirts that they like. Some people replied with just like this type of merchandise, like they like mugs, they like lanyards. Some people got more specific and highlighted a specific piece of merchandise they got. So if any of you guys have like a favorite shirt or a favorite mug or a favorite Kosher Dynamics model or whatever, just let us know and we'll include it in the show because that's fun. And that's cool, and that's why you guys get this.
Can you hear me now? No.
I can't hear you. You're just really, really quiet. You're insanely quiet. And of course, in typical Coaster Talk podcast format, we are not starting on time tonight. I just relook at the clock.
We started the live stream almost on time, sort of.
Yeah, about 15 minutes late. That's pretty good for Coaster Talk. One day we'll get this down, guys. One day it'll be like we start at 9 and we just start recording, and we don't have to do all this prep. It'll just be happening.
Can you hear me okay right now?
This is the best it's been. This is just like normal quality, normal volume. Yeah, this is good. I like this. I like it a lot. All right, I'm gonna exit out all this stuff.
Now let me see if the gain control on Audacity does anything. It does not. It still does not. I don't. What's the purpose of this gain control on Audacity if it doesn't do anything?
It does something for me. The like recording volume level.
Down by the track, the audio track.
The what? Can you explain? I mean, there's an actual like recording volume level slider.
Up the top under the play button. That doesn't move for me.
Let me. I don't know what exactly you're talking about right now. You're talking about what gain control? Because there's no gain control for me on Audacity.
You see where the waveform is on the left side of the waveform. You don't see the gain control and the balance control.
Oh yes, that's what you mean. I do see that. Yeah. I thought you meant okay, but you can also record like your level, recording volume level.
No, that doesn't move for me. That's locked because it's digital. I'm not talking directly to the device through Audacity.
Yeah. I don't really think the gain does that much for me on Audacity. I guess.
Apparently not. It doesn't do anything.
Let me see. I'm gonna try it real quick. I think I might do it for Audacity. Oh no, it does nothing. Yeah, mine's at negative 36,
Okay.
and it's still coming through really loud. So I have mine.
Okay then.
At
So, so here's the thing. Everything's sound. Well, actually, I guess this isn't too bad. Brace yourself. I'm going to yell a little bit.
How about you also
Ah!
send me something?
That wasn't bad.
Just do some test audio, send it to me, and let me see if I can see your air conditioning, if that's what you're worried about. I thought you said you would just
You
turn.
were worried about it, not me. Well, yeah, but
I'm worried about it because it sounds awful. So, yeah, I am worried about
Well,
it.
I know, and I asked you before. Do you want me to turn it off? And you're like, well,
I don't want you to be like,
then-
I don't want to be like,
down.
oh, James was such a jerk. He made me turn off my AC unit, and I was sweating, and I
You're
was gonna
sweating.
die of a heat stroke.
Just see me pass out. You're like,
Bob is
"Fuck,
down,
what do you
guys.
think?"
Bob is down. I'll continue on. Oh, the show must go on. Bob's like, call an ambulance. I need water. Oh.
All right,
I
let me
swear we do our
record a
best
test.
material. We do our best material when the show's not actually on. I feel like we could record the
All
show
right,
and start
this is a
stuff like
test
that.
audio, so I can send it to James. I'm gonna move a little bit.
Try breathing a couple times too. See how that's working out. See, I don't hear it right now. Normally I can hear it, so that's a good sign, I think. I heard it that time.
That's good. I blew out of my mouth that time. I'm like,
Alright, yeah.
okay.
Anybody that's watching, hello. We're going to be starting off here in a second. Not much news to cover this week. There is. We have a lot of stories, but they're kind of like smaller stories. Nothing major this week, as you guys obviously probably know. As enthusiasts, you would know about something major. So we just kind of plucked a couple of small stories. We should be able to fill a considerable amount of time with those. Then, really, our second half of the show would typically revolve around something big, but what we're doing is we're actually going to record something at Busch Gardens Williamsburg this the weekend coming up. We're going to record like a little trip report from there. It'll probably be like 10 or 15 minutes long of us, talking about the park, talking about what we did, talking about what's going on at Busch Gardens. And then,
Hold on a second. I'll be right back.
all right. And then that is a big part of the show that's not like normally we'd have some sort of topic to discuss there, but we're just going to jump into the weekly poll after that, which should take up a considerable amount of time, I would say, maybe about 30 minutes. So, yeah, that's the show for this week. And then next week's weekly poll is, what is your favorite launch sequence? Which means, in our definition of launch sequence, it means events that are leading up to the launch and not the actual launch itself. So like thematic elements or, music or anything of that nature that adds to the experience of the launch. Top Thrill Dragster has those lights. I wouldn't really consider that theming. I wouldn't really consider it, anything spectacular in terms of like, oh, there's a cool thematic element being utilized here. It's just like some lights, but it makes sense because it's a drag car and stuff. So just like that's what we mean by that. So if you guys have any thoughts on that as well, let us know. So any of you have any thoughts on your favorite launch sequence, let us know as well. And if anyone's in the live stream, which I think there's a couple people, let us know if my audio is sounding good. Is it sounding better or worse or about the same as normal? Because I am not utilizing that pop filter as normal.
All right, I'm back.
All right, cool.
It sounded like something fell or I don't know. It was weird.
Okay.
How's that audio look, sound, whatever?
Oh, did you put in the? You said you put it in the Bob audio.
Oh, you want me to put it there? It was small, so I just sent it on Discord.
Oh,
I
you can do
send
that.
it
No,
that
no,
way.
that's cool. I didn't see that. Sorry. I'm just now seeing that. I had to go back to Discord. Um, doesn't. Oh, I was about to say, doesn't look like it's downloading. Let me plop it into Audacity real quick. I'll be able to tell you probably even without even listening to it. Oh yeah, that looks great. Let me see real quick. Actually, I'm gonna run it through what I normally do and see if amplifying it does anything or compressing. Compress. Effect. Normalize. Effect. Amplify. I'm gonna amplify it about 3. See, the thing is, in some spots you're really quiet, and some parts you're really loud. Let me see.
Yeah.
Let me listen to it real quick. I'm gonna.
All right. This is a test audio, so I can send it to James. I'm gonna move a little bit.
Yeah, I can hear the AC unit still. Not as bad as last week, but it's still like a major, like it's still a major kind of thing.
That's good. I blew out.
Like it's like a. Just sounds like background noise. I mean, I don't want to make you have to turn it off, really. So I feel kind of bad if I have to do that. But I cannot hear you. Are you talking to me right now? Yeah, I can't hear you.
Sorry, I had my mute on. I need one of those like cubicle walls to put behind my desk.
I thought you were in. Are you in your living room? You have your AC in your living room?
I have one in my living room, one in my bedroom.
Well, if you keep the one in your living room on, will it not fluctuate to that side of the house? Like
No.
if you keep that back door open behind you? I mean, just for like, I mean, we're not really, this show this week isn't that long either. Like, it'll be like 45 minutes probably, so maybe an hour at the most, I would imagine. Like, we're not doing anything extensive this week, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe if I left it open. See what happens.
All right. So, nobody in the live stream is getting back to me. I'm not very happy with you guys. You guys are quiet this week. Anybody have anything to say at all? He was talking. Oh, is the live stream lagged? He was talking. Oh, but Timmy got me. Does my audio sound good, Timmy? Does it sound better or worse than normal or about the same? I feel like it might sound better because I'm close. It's like I'm like right here. It's like nice quality. Oh yeah. Can you hear me though? Tell me how good my voice sounds right now. Tell me if my mic's working. It's a bit worse. Wow. Are you still joking with me or are you being serious? I think it might be louder. I think I might need to turn the gain down still. There's the gain down. Now I need to go listen to it. I was just talking to Timmy.
You can't hear me over my deafening AC. It's all James's fault. No matter what's going on, it's James's fault. You know, I just realized something. Okay, James, can you hear me? Can anybody hear me?
I think I understand the problem. I think it's really loud on OBS. I need to turn it down. Yeah, I think it's reaching the level where it's gonna like when I talk really loud, it's gonna be like crazy. Like that should be better. Is that better? That should be better quality for people on the live stream.
So should I put stuff back the way I had it then?
What do you mean? I think you
Like,
sound good still, like how you are now. Or I mean, I would. I guess you were coming through kind of a little quiet. Maybe you
I don't
could.
know. That's
You
I
were.
mean,
So maybe change something a little bit. Maybe make it a little bit louder
okay.
on
How's
the
this
Audacity.
better?
What?
Let me go back to 100%. Can you hear me okay now?
Yeah, you're louder now. You're good.
Okay. All right, let me
It's
do a
easier to make
test it.
somebody quieter than it is to make them louder.
Yeah. Okay, so this I'm just doing another test in Audacity. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing. Oh, it's it doesn't seem as high as it usually does, but it's hitting the. That's probably good, I guess. I don't know. I guess we'll
Really
find
loud,
out.
it's gonna be like crazy. Like that should be better.
So I did just realize something. I bet you with the air conditioner off, we'll hear a train really loud if one goes by.
Yeah, maybe that'd be funny. I mean,
'Cause it's like eerily quiet in my
you sound
room.
good still, like how you are now.
I was actually
know.
just thinking about that the other night. Like, whenever I don't need my air conditioner anymore, it's just I was like, it's gonna be weird in my room.
I want to know
Failing to
if my mic sounds better to anybody out there now. Timmy said
I
it
don't.
sounded. I think it
It
sounded.
disappeared.
It sounded bad because I had it up on a very high volume on OBS. Now that I've turned it down, it should sound more quiet. Like I think it was coming through so loud that it was getting in like that red zone of audio where like it's too loud. All right, cool. Yeah, I thought so. Thanks. I just want to make sure I don't want people like listening to the live stream. All right.
You're not allowed to put stuff away while we're here talking to you, Timmy.
You're our.
Come on.
We have a lot of viewers, but you're the only one talking, so you're our one like go-to guy if we need some answers in the live stream.
Yeah, everybody else is silent.
Silence.
It's so weird in my room right now. It's freaking me out. In my room. It's so weird. That air conditioner has been on since I moved in here.
Yeah, Bob probably does. Let me turn him down some.
What?
He said that you sound a lot louder, and that's because you are a lot louder on OBS. Because I turned my mic down and I forgot to turn yours down as well.
Oh.
Now we should be about the same. Is that correct?
Are we about the same? How about now?
How about now? I'm just kidding. Yeah, we should be cool now. All right.
See, the reason why I still don't know how thick the wall is.
Yeah, I just
between
changed
me
it
and the
again,
other
Timmy. Wait for it now, Timmy. I just changed it again. Sorry. Yep, there we go. Yeah. All right. What were you saying, Bob?
I was saying I still don't know how thick the wall is between my apartment and the other one. So I'm like, that's why I usually keep the door closed.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like two walls in between.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll see. If I get a complaint. Too loud.
You about ready for the show?
I think so. Yep. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna do something cool this week. I'm gonna do something different, a little different.
What?
Not a little different, but just to start off the show. I mean, it's not really that different. I'm not gonna be like, you'll see. It's not that different. It's not gonna really change anything you have to do.
Oh, by the way, I'm not so sure about the launch thing. It's like the new start to the show. I almost kind of like the change better.
I like I don't know. I kind of wasn't liking it either, but then I was like, the old chain lift sucked, so I'd have to do another one. Because what I did was like cut another piece of chain lift, like it was free audio of a chain lift, but I like cut it really strangely. So now like the one audio clip I have is like it's not like that actual the chain lift and the screaming are two different pieces, so it sounds really weird.
Yeah,
So it's like kong 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 kong, and then it's like ah, it's like really weird. So I don't know how I do that. I wanted one there with I wanted like a chain lift and a drop, but I couldn't find like both. So I don't know. It just sounds weird to me. I like the launch. I think it sounds cool, but I don't know. I wasn't digging
I
it.
don't know. It's like
When I listen to it with headphones on, it sounds awesome. But then when I listen to it like just on my phone or something, it's like eh. But with headphones on, it sounds really cool.
so
Headphones on, it's
maybe
like
maybe
crazy.
I didn't have headphones on.
Or maybe I mean, and I think most people listen to it like in their car or with headphones.
Yeah, and I was in my car and it didn't sound like it. Honestly, if you didn't tell me it was a launch, I'm not sure if I would have figured that out. It was just I don't know. It's weird.
I mean, it's an actual launch for a coaster, so
Well, I mean, yeah, but there's like a lot of noise around. I don't know. It just
and
I
there's
don't
some
know. It was just
screaming.
yeah. I don't know. Anyway,
We can get some feedback from our live stream listeners. Any of you listen to the episode?
Timmy, what did you think? You're like the only person that's talking.
I would assume Timmy didn't listen to it. Yeah. Just listen to it real
What?
quick. Pull it up and
What?
listen to the beginning. I mean, Timmy already watched the live streams. I wouldn't really expect him to listen to it too.
I know. Yeah.
Go to
Well,
the
what I
go on.
listen to it.
I listen to it a little bit. If I have time, I'm like, let me just listen to it and make sure. And then I always like, I'm like, what if I made some mistakes? So I just listen to it anyway. But I haven't made any mistakes. Yeah, that's a lie. Actually, that's the one episode in like like a long time that I've actually not made a mistake.
You're right, but it's not a good time to make that statement right now.
Yeah. All right. Before that episode, I had not made a lot of mistakes. And that was that was a really poorly planned trying to do that at Hollywood. Well, I was at Hollywood Nights. It was like 12 o'clock at night, and I'm like editing a podcast, so I was like not fully awake at some points. Can you listen to the just go to Spotify, listen to the beginning real quick, just like the first 5 seconds or whatever, and listen to that and see if you like it or not. And then you can listen to the older ones too and see if you like that. I don't know. I don't like the older ones. So if we didn't, if you say that you don't like that one,
The new intro.
just go to Spotify, look at episode number 88 real quick, and just listen to the beginning.
Or like there's this thing called a website too.
Or the website. Yeah, that works too. But I feel like Spotify might be easier to pull up right now on your phone. If you're on your phone. Of course, you have an opinion.
Yeah.
Bob, he is always neutral. Yeah, I mean, I think they both sound good. I don't really discredit either. I think the other one sounded good, but it just like with me, I knew that like that one audio didn't really phase well together, and I just think it sounds a little unprofessional.
I'm actually gonna listen to it real quick on headphones.
The new one?
Yeah. Wait, what? Why isn't the new? I thought the new episode was always on the front page.
It is. Scroll down to the new episodes tab.
I'm in the archive now.
Look, when you go to the website, yeah, look, when you go to the website,
Yeah, I don't know.
right here, it says new episodes. Hi, I'm James Barber.
Yeah, I guess it's not.
I like that too because that sounds like
Yeah, but see, that's the thing that just sounded like noise to me in the car.
it's called Electric
It sounds-
Engine. I like it. I like that part. I don't. I can understand the launch part. I like the electric engine part a lot though.
Yeah, it didn't sound. It didn't sound. I don't think it sounded good in my car.
But listen to this. Listen to this. Like you can tell where that cut is. It's like chain lift, and then it's like ah, like you can hear the screaming. So it's like you can hear that cut subtle. It's like very like chain lift, and then it's like split
Here,
audience. What?
I couldn't hear anything.
Like you can hear that cut right there. It's
I
like
don't. I don't know. I think it sounds good.
I think it's
I never heard. I never heard what you were talking about. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but here I can't. I don't hear anything. I don't know. I just my opinion. I think the older one was better. Not saying the new one's terrible. I just think it's
I might
more.
do
I don't
another.
know.
I'll play around with something else again. I don't know if I'm a huge fan of the new one too. Honestly, I keep going back and forth. But bump. I'll try to, if I have time, do a new one. I definitely don't want to go back to the old one though. I think the old one can be improved upon. That's why I did that. I thought you'd like the launch.
I mean, yeah, but
Honestly, I could take that electric engine out, so it's just like screaming, and then the launch goes by, and then the music
it
starts.
might be better without that
Well, let me try
because
that.
I think that might be what took away from it and what made it
I mean, I
sound.
like that because I think it sounds cool and like modern almost. Like it makes it sound like a radio show because a lot of times
I
they
think
have
it
like
sound. Yeah, I agree with you with my headphones on, but in my car, I didn't like. It just sounded like noise.
let me see if I can do something real quick. I'm gonna see if it sounds any better. Actually, we don't have time for this. Let me just do this later.
Yeah.
I'll do it later.
All right, you ready? Your Audacity's ready.
Yeah.
3.
Wait, never mind. I lied. Audacity just decided to say Audacity is not working. Would you like to shut down the program? Not really, but I guess I have to. It's not really an option. Would you like to shut down the program? And the only option is yes or no, and no is like just waiting for like 20 minutes before it shuts down itself. All right, you ready? Now I'm ready.
You better save between every break.
No, it's all right. It's if I try to open like multiple projects, which I was trying to do, it does that sometimes. I was trying to open the other one so I could edit the intro real quick, but I'm not going to do that anymore. So,
All right,
all right, you
3,
ready?
2.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. That's gay. I'm sorry. I thought that would sound cool. I'm not going to use the word gay. I'm going to use the word because gay means happy. I'm going to use the word that was bad. That sounded awful. I think it actually sounded good. Let me try it again. I'm just not going to laugh this time. Do you think that's cool?
I don't know. 3, 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to your source for everything roller coasters. This is Coaster Talk Podcast. My name is James Barber.
And I'm Bob Mertz.
This is episode number 89 of the show. It is September 13th, 2020. And I try to do something different there. I don't know, Bob. Did you like it? I liked it.
I don't know. Whatever.
Welcome.
I'm indifferent.
Welcome to Coaster Talk Podcast, guys. It's been quite a week for me, at least. School just restarted, and it has been a little stressful to say the least. I don't know how things are going for Bob here, but
Yeah, I'm getting used to stuff.
yeah.
I'm now. I now have my West Virginia driver's license and license plates and stuff.
Ooh, ah.
Yeah. And I found out my first thing that I hate about West Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
They charge me an additional $100 a year to register my car because it's a hybrid.
Hillbillies don't like hybrids, I guess.
It's ridiculous. So the
Yeah.
what they're saying is basically they're saying, oh, you don't buy enough gas to pay for like the taxes from gas, pay for the roads and stuff. But
Hmm.
my hybrid, I get the same gas mileage as normal cars. I just have a mild hybrid. My hybrid engine is or my hybrid motor is more for performance than it is for saving gas.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm basically being double taxed.
Why don't you? I
So
mean,
I
is there any way to like write whoever is in control of that, like his DMV or whoever is in control of that
I'm gonna
process?
complain. Once I figure out who my representatives are and stuff, I'm gonna complain. But I have decided that I will be buying gas in Virginia because
Screw them. Screw West
just out of
Virginia.
principle,
Yeah.
just because
I love
they
it.
want to take the money from me, fine. I'll give Virginia the other bit.
Yeah.
Like
I
it
like it.
just
I like it.
frustrating.
All right. Well, that's how it's going for us. Definitely not great weeks, I guess, for either of us then.
Yeah,
Well,
been indifferent otherwise, I guess.
yeah. Yeah. I guess, I mean, school starting wasn't awful. It's just like now I have podcast, school, and a couple other things not going to get into on the show, but, other things going on that I'm juggling. So it's like, yes, now I get to do all
You're
this
doing school
together.
from home.
Yep. All virtual learning. Other school
Yeah.
systems around us aren't doing that. Some school systems around us are actually doing hybrid learning, and some people are going in, some people aren't.
Can we charge them $100?
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say, yeah, $100, man. You're not paying the same tax. Hey, I should get charged $100 because I'm not giving the tax. I'm not going to school and giving them my lunch money and stuff. And
No, actually, see, so that's the thing. In Virginia, if you have an all-electric vehicle, it's a $200 per year fee.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I think that makes
It's
a little bit more sense. If it's fully electric, I guess it makes a little bit more sense.
like that makes a little more sense because they're not actually paying for
Yeah,
the
exactly.
taxes. That I get, but I pay the same amount of gas as like if I had a Hyundai Elantra. Like,
Yeah.
I,
Well, speaking of
Anyway.
Virginia, getting
and
get into that.
prices.
And high prices. Busch Gardens Williamsburg getting an all new membership, which is kind of ludicrous in a
All new.
way. All new, yeah. Like they didn't just get that a couple years ago. Little strange announcement from the park. I have to say, I wasn't expecting it fully, but nonetheless, it happened. They're getting
It's basically we're charging you more money
exactly.
and we're going to market it as, oh my gosh, this is the greatest thing we're ever going to give you.
We've never done this before. It's never happened in the history of our park. We've never done a membership before.
I agree with Timmy. It's like PTSD. All new passes. No, God, no, don't do it. No. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like it's scary. It's
It
just
is.
every time Busch Gardens does stuff like this, it's just like you just want to run and like, oh, I mean, it's bad enough that they still take my money.
And so prices
Anyway.
increased with this, as Bob stated it before, as prices are increasing. So the Busch Gardens Williamsburg basic pass went from $120 to $135 now, and this is yearly costs. The Busch Gardens Williamsburg and Water Country USA basic pass went from $144 to $159. The Busch Gardens Williamsburg Unlimited Pass went to $180 to $189, and then the Busch Gardens Williamsburg and Water Country USA Unlimited went from $204 to $213. The Busch Gardens Williamsburg Premier went to $240 to $255. The BGW and Water Country USA Premier went from $264 to $269, and then the Platinum Pass, which includes all 11 parks, went from $348 to $366 now. So, yeah, they increased their prices a substantial amount, about $20 it looks like. Pretty much every pass went up about $20 almost, around that median there.
And here's the other thing. The grandfathering seems to be going away too. Once your
Yeah.
12-month initial commitment is up, your prices will go up. There is none of this, oh, you bought it, so you're going to keep the same price.
Yeah. It's unfair because they really didn't add anything new. The thing is that they try to market this as like a new, great new stuff, new perks, new benefits, it's all new, and you guys are getting better deals now. But it's really Busch Gardens Williamsburg Fans, which obviously does most of the Busch Gardens Williamsburg news, is the one that covered this article and covered this news, and wrote a little bit of an article on their Twitter feed about everything. They put a bunch of different tweets on there, and they said the biggest change that they noticed were that Premier membership now gets 4 guest tickets, and Platinum members get 6. Unlimited members now get a free unlimited photo key. Reride privileges for Platinum members have been replaced with one-time single-use quick queue per visit. Member exclusive pin trading events and products are now listed as an official perk, so that's not even really new. And then the in-park discounts have gotten a little bit more exciting because now we have 50% discount off for Platinum, which is a good discount, I will say. But
for merchandise, though, so
Yeah.
like that's the thing. It's different. There's different levels for different things. So it's 50% for merchandise, but then like dining
merchandise.
might be a different percent off, or things like that. I mean, 50% off for merchandise is great, except that I've always felt that
merchandise. It's for merchandise. Excuse me, sorry. It's for merchandise. It's for season quick queue, and it's for, it looks like, posters. Yeah, photo prints and frames. So it's 50% off of those 3 things. So it's not just merchandise in terms of like clothing
okay, but
and apparel.
still, that's not like dining.
It's not
Dining is a
everything. Yeah,
different-
you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
In that aspect, yeah.
But I've always felt that Busch Gardens merchandise was about 50% higher than other parks, so I guess this just means that it's going to bring it back in line with what we pay at other parks for the same type of
It's just that's not
merchandise.
enough to say, hey, you're paying $340. Now you have to pay $366. Like that's not enough changes for me to be like, I'm on board with that now. I'm
Yeah,
not really. I wasn't on board with the $348 either. But
Here's another thing. I just got an email from them today as well that said that my monthly payments are going to continue until both my 12-month commitment is up and the park fully reopens. So basically what this means is my commitment is up in January. Well, it doesn't look like Busch Gardens is going to fully open this year. Busch Gardens Williamsburg.
Mhm.
So what they're basically saying is I'm going to have to pay through the winter again, which is absolutely irritating to me because I don't want this. I don't want this pass anymore. I want the rest of my months, like my free months, and I'm done. I'm done with this. But now I'm stuck. I have to pay through the winter if I want those free months, so that they can extend my pass into next winter. Like my free months will be extended into the following winter, so that I don't get anything. I'm basically paying a whole the whole winter season for nothing, and I'm forced to, because if I don't, they're going to take all that pass extension and all that stuff away from me, which is irritating.
Yeah, I'm disappointed with how they're handling a lot of this past stuff. It's definitely, and this is just another like slap in the face kind of. Like I really was like, how can it get much worse than this? And then they were like, here you go,
Yeah.
happy birthday.
Well, you know what the ridiculous thing is too? Part of my decision to renew my to actually get my pass was because I got screwed by not, because I paid in full for 2018. I wasn't able to renew. Well, yeah, it was the end. The last pass I had, I paid in full. Had I not done that, I would have been grandfathered in, and I still would have been grandfathered in. So when I bought my pass last January, I specifically said, you know what? I'm going to go easy pay for the monthly payments. That way I'll be locked in on this price if they raise the prices again. And guess what? They're raising the prices anyway. I'm not locked in. Like the whole reason why I did that is, just kind of was screwed over there again. It's just the way they're handling all of this is just horrible.
Agreed, and I think that's pretty much all we can say about this. There's no really good way to look at this or a positive light to shine on this. It's just another strange decision by the park. I feel like their goal here is like, how do we screw over our pass holders even more? Like it's like actually like a lot of times we say stuff like that, and I even like past episodes I've played devil's advocate and been like, well, they're doing this and they're doing that, blah blah blah. But I mean, this is just like blatantly just like you guys are getting like, I mean, if you look at the perks I got, it's just like nothing, and it's like now we're gonna raise your prices because you guys get nothing. Like you guys get no incentive. There's no really incentive to increase prices, but they're just like, you guys get 5 things that really don't even like half of those things I listed don't really affect me or Bob really at all. And we're platinum pass holders too. So it's just kind of absurd a little bit. But I mean, that's really all we can discuss. We've stated that multiple episodes, multiple times. We said it tonight a couple of times as well. So in terms of that, that's about all we got for that. Waldemir, a little different story though.
Yeah, this is an interesting one.
Yeah.
Waldemir's pulling track off of Ravine Flyer 2. They posted a picture of it. And they said, what was it they actually said? It was something to the effect of it. Well, actually, let me pull it up and I'll just read it.
That would be good, or I can actually do it. I have it up there.
With all that track coming off, one might ask themselves, are they really making changes? So, I don't know. This is kind of interesting. I mean,
it is.
Waldemir is great at maintaining this coaster. They put a lot of effort into it. I mean, they're right up there with Holiday World and Voyage. And I mean, Ravine Flyer 2 is just like a smaller version of Voyage.
Mm-hmm.
And it's another park that they take really good care of the ride. So like there's that part of me that says they're not changing anything. They're just
retracking.
Yeah,
they're just doing some maintenance.
But it's
just weird phraseology. Weird. It's really weird phraseology.
Like why did they make that statement? It's weird.
I don't know. I mean,
it
is the first drop too, so I'm like, what are they gonna do? Like, at least in the picture they've shown us on their Instagram page, it's just that first like drop there. So I don't know what more they can do other than just retrack it. That's what's confusing me. If this was like other parts of the ride, I might be like, oh, maybe Gravity Group's gonna come in and throw an inversion in or something cool like that. I don't know. There's a little bit more speculation with that. At least if it was like an airtime hill or like a straight section of track. But this is literally the first drop. So I don't know what they could do to this, really.
Yeah, I don't know.
They say all the track coming off, so maybe there's multiple. I don't know if there's multiple other points in the ride where they're doing this as well. It says with all of that track coming off. I don't know if they're just referencing the first drop or if they're referencing other parts in the ride. I don't know. I haven't really been following this too much.
And I think this was just posted, like, I don't know, within the last day. I don't know. It's the only other thing that was kind of like going through my mind is I wonder if they're going to be adding a new ride to the park and it's going to go through like under the lift hill somehow or under the drop, or like they're removing it so that they can build the other ride.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, possible. That's just possible. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's just something that crossed my mind that is potentially. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
you don't need to make any changes to it. Really, it's such a great ride. There's nothing you need to do to it. So I don't know. I think it's possibly they're just trolling us.
Yeah,
and
that's probably the best.
Trying to get us to do this exact thing, and it's working. We're talking about this now on the podcast.
We're getting some free marketing here, so that could be definitely a.
They don't have to troll us, though. I'll gladly say you have to go to Walden and ride Ravine Flyer 2. Exactly. It's an amazing coaster. You need to do it.
I have not been there, but it's a park that I've had it on my map a couple of times where it's like, oh, I'm gonna head up Waldemir, and then it's like, oh, nope, doing this, doing that. But I will eventually get there, most definitely. It's definitely a coaster I want to check out. So, yeah, I mean, if Bob likes it, I'm sure I'll like it. If it's a mini Voyage, then definitely will like it. So, definitely, I mean, again, if this is a marketing scheme, we'll gladly, send us over a little bit of a script and we'll read it off on the podcast. Bob loves the park. I'm sure I'll love it. So, you don't have to do this. Don't get us all hyped for a new ride or
It's one of
something
the
like that.
beautiful independent parks.
Yeah, playing around with us on social media. I love it. All right, well, getting into some more serious stuff now, sadly. Lagoon Park, I assume this was something that they didn't really post about, but they did have some damage done to their park. They did actually post about that. I just lied, actually.
They did post on Instagram, I believe.
Let me unrecord that part. I don't know what I was talking about there. I said I had something in my head. I assume, and then I just stopped. I didn't have anything else. They did actually
Where
post
do I
about.
need to go back to? Or will you just figure it out?
They didn't really post about, but something that this was something that they didn't really post about, but they did have some damage. One sec, let me look. I assume Lagoon. Well, getting into some more serious stuff now, sadly. Lagoon, about 16 minutes and 34 seconds. All right, well, getting into some more serious stuff now, sadly. Lagoon.
Wait. Oh, okay. I think hold on, let me figure out where. No, not play one. All right, I think I got it. All right, you ready?
Yep. All right, let me know. You can do the countdown if you want.
Why is my mic not bad?
Oh, I think he's being sarcastic.
All right, you ready? 3,
Yeah.
2.
Suffered a pretty hard hit from some windstorms, it looks. They posted to their social media this past day. It's only been a day, actually, now that I realize it. This is 1 day ago they posted this through their social media. So I don't know if the park's reopened since then. I don't believe so. I think they're closed for weekly operations, so I think they're cleaning this stuff up during the week here, and then they're going to reopen this weekend, I would assume. But they took like I said, a very strong hit from a windstorm, and I mean, me and Bob were looking at this. It's some pretty serious stuff. There's like trees almost everywhere in the pathways knocked over and on top of rides. I mean, some rides look to be damaged, like smaller family attractions. Like, looks like there's a swing ride that had like a canopy over it almost that's been completely like ripped apart. And then there was like, I don't even know the name of these rides. It's similar to the Trade Wind at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. The Music Express, excuse me, and that was damaged. That had like a tarp over it as well. So multiple rides damaged here at Lagoon, which is sad to see. But again, they did state in their social media post that they're going to have some great community interaction where you can come and help clean up, and then they also have a lot of employees helping clean up the park as well. So
Sounds like a Knoebels.
It does.
That's kind of what happens with Knoebels. The community helps out and they get things going. And
I mean, but looking at these images, man, it looks like an abandoned amusement park almost. It looks like a park.
it does. That's actually what I thought when I saw it. I was like, you really could think that this was just an
Geauga
abandoned
Lake
park.
or a Six Flags Astro. Like, it looks like one of those parks that, like, you see the videos and they're like, today we're here at this park in St. Louis or wherever. There's different people that do different things at different abandoned amusement parks. But it looks like one of those people that vlog about it and go on and climb the rides and stuff. It looks like one of those parks. It's just crazy. It's a lot of
Yeah.
damage. It's a lot of damage done. A lot of trees falling over.
The winds on that storm that went through Utah was up to 99 miles per hour.
Wow. That's faster than anything at Lagoon. For reference there. I mean,
I mean, it literally was knocking semis over. Like,
insane.
wow. Could you imagine that driving down the highway and just seeing a semi just fall over?
No, I mean, that's pretty scary stuff there. That's pretty scary stuff.
That's how bad it was. There's a NPR story about it that has some pictures of tractor trailers and other trucks that are just like sitting on their side. There's a picture of a tree that fell over and took the entire ground with it. It's crazy. It was a crazy, crazy storm.
Yeah, if you want to see these images we're referencing to, again, show notes, any podcast listening platform you're listening to, go to our description of the show and you'll see at the very bottom some show notes with links to all the articles and pictures and social media posts that we're referencing. But yeah, that's what happened at Lagoon. It's
NPR article as well.
Yeah, we'll link that as well. And that is about it for Lagoon, though. Again, it's tragic, and I would assume they're going to open this weekend, though, because, I mean, I know we talked about Dorney Park a while back, and they had that huge flood there, and the next day they were open. So I'm assuming Lagoon will be back and better than ever coming soon. I am curious to know, like, do they have spare tarps for their rides like that? Are they, like, prepared? Like, oh, when the tarp breaks, we're going to go in the back and we got another one, or do they have to order another one? I am curious about how that process works, but, you know.
Well, I think you could operate the ride without that.
Oh yeah, you could. I think it would look strange, but I wonder if that's what I'm wondering, if they have like a precaution, like if this happens, can we just throw this other tarp back on, or if they have multiple, that they change out seasonally, maybe they changed it out like different colors. I don't know. Just a thought that
Run to Harbor Freight, a few tarps.
Yeah,
I don't think
exactly.
that would work so well.
Yeah. Get some like zip ties and get it on there, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, yeah, you just buy a bunch of tarps from Harbor Freight, get some scissors, you can trim it to the right size, zip tie it on.
Yeah, exactly.
You can make this happen.
Good old traditional state fair carnival type ride there. All right, well, now getting into something exciting, some exciting news here. Silverwood Theme Park, which is located in, I want to say, I can't remember the name of the state now. Where is it located?
That's an interesting state. I don't know. I can't remember
forgot.
either.
No. It's in it's in like
I'll tell you.
Indiana. No, not Indiana. I know it's
in
Idaho. Idaho. It's in Idaho. Yeah. All right.
Athol, Idaho.
You stopped recording, right?
No.
I didn't want to record. I should have said stop. Now getting into something, I'll tell you where to go back to.
Where are we going back to?
I wanted to just say the state name. I didn't want to be like that whole spiel there. Now getting into something exciting, some exciting news here. Silverwood Theme Park.
Man, just
Silverwood Theme Park.
You're not perfect.
Which
I
is
don't care.
located in.
When I screw up, we just keep going.
True. I mean, now that I think about it, I would have kept that up. But then I thought we were gonna like stop and like we're gonna stop and you're gonna look it up and do that kind of thing. So
Where do we stop at?
2124.
What is it? 21 what?
24.
Okay.
I don't know how I forgot Idaho. I know the shape of the state. Like I'm like it's the one shaped like a gun, kind of, next to Montana. Like I can, and it's like, what is that state's name? How do I not know this? I even know the state capital of Idaho because I remember it from learning it. I can't remember the actual.
All right.
I mean, I remember Boise, Idaho.
You ready?
But I just can't. I didn't remember the state. All right, yeah.
3,
which
2.
is located in Idaho. is teasing a new ride, which is exciting. And how they did this, how they phrased this tease is they posted like an image of their skyline. You can see like Tremors and Aftershock, and you can see their like Ferris wheel, and you can see a couple other attractions throughout the park. And they say this view is going to look a whole lot different next year. New fun is coming in 2021. And I feel like the way they phrased it still, and Bob, you can feel free to share your thoughts as well, your analyses on this. But I mean, based on that, I feel like that has to be a roller coaster. I mean, to say this whole view, or some sort of large thrill ride at least, because to say you're like, it's almost like they're phrasing it like the skyline's going to look different. And to phrase it like that, you have to have, it can't be just like something small off in the corner, because that's not really going to change the view. That's not really going to alter much of what you're seeing. But I feel like if there's a huge thing that's erected, in the skyline, that is definitely like, oh wow, yeah, that changes. When you do like a before and after shot, I mean, I feel like it has to be something large. I'm not even gonna say full out roller coaster.
Yeah, like a cell phone tower.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm leaning towards.
I mean,
it could be.
It could be.
Honestly, it really could be.
It doesn't violate what they said in the post.
I don't know if Silverwood's the park that teases stuff though. I don't know if they're a Kentucky Kingdom or even like other chain parks that like to. I haven't ever heard Silverwood like teasing people. Maybe they're joining the bandwagon though. Very well could be.
I'll tell you what. After Kentucky Kingdom, like, took everything they'd ever done and topped it off with a cherry last week when they did the whole Keys to the Canceled Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
I suspect that there may be other parks that are going to start going, we need to find a social media person that can do that.
Well,
So,
I mean, he's really
it
not.
wouldn't surprise me if parks don't start doing some crazy stuff.
Yeah. The thing
I'm
is,
not
though,
saying that's happening here. I'm just making a statement that
I agree.
don't be surprised if parks
agree.
do start doing that type of stuff.
I don't really get why a park would want to do that though. I understand Kentucky Kingdom's good, like they have a mix of both like seriousness and like trolling enthusiasts. But I don't feel like parks like the marketing aspect of it, the PR part of it, really doing stuff with like interacting with enthusiasts gives them no benefit really. I feel like enthusiasts are going to go to all these parks anyway, irregardless of their social media person, really. Like, I'm not going to go to Kentucky Kingdom more now that they have a cool... Like, I like their social media, and, like, I'm going to make it to Keys of the Kingdom now because I like that name and stuff. Like, it's cool, but I feel like them interacting with us on social media it's an added bonus, but I don't feel like, in terms of revenue or anything like that, I don't think they're going to see, like, a drastic uplift or uptick in anything. So I don't know if parks are going to be like, I want that. I don't think it's going to be like a thing that's like, oh yeah, Kentucky Kingdom's profiting.
You gotta understand how marketing works and the psychology behind it.
I mean,
it does. It plays a part. It plays more of a part than you would actually think it does.
I mean, I understand marketing. I'm taking a marketing class this year. I
told a lot of my non-coaster loving friends about that whole story. I mean, and they loved it. So think of it that way.
Oh,
too,
I get
like that.
Well, the line cutting thing was different. Right. I get that. Like that's like a funny. Like it doesn't have to be like an enthusiast kind of thing. But like when the whole thing going on right now is like they're trying to change the slang of coasters to rollers, and it's like other than roller coaster enthusiasts that are kind of playing along with that joke. That isn't really like no like general. I don't think general public are gonna be like, yeah.
That whole thing is getting on my nerves.
It is getting on my nerves quite a bit too.
And it's all being driven by one person for the most part, and I think it's ridiculous.
I mean, it's being driven by Kentucky Kingdom a lot, so I don't.
No. They bought into it.
I know, but I'm saying that they're like taking it to another level, kind of. And a bunch of other people are kind of doing that too. But it's just like, I don't know. But getting back to like where my point is with that kind of stuff, I feel like isn't going to be a big marketing thing for them because it's just them trolling with the enthusiasts. Like that doesn't correlate to like added revenue.
The thing is you have to have that reputation and that history before things like Keys to the Canceled Kingdom can be a hit. because like that's the thing.
Well, I
If
mean,
Kentucky Kingdom came out and just did that without their history, everybody would not know how to take that. Like,
uh,
wait, what are the. Well, I mean, maybe to an extent, but I mean, it really would have been a completely different thing if it wasn't, that the people knew the history and they knew that Kentucky Kingdom was that, like, that's what they do.
I think other parks have, like, I would even say Cedar Fair to an extent, have like people that are, I wouldn't say they're not, they don't associate with like enthusiasts, but like, they post memes and they do things like that. Like they're more like, they're trying to engage with like the younger audience, which is mainly on social media. It's mainly younger people that are interacting with parks and stuff on social media, at least from my observation, and I'm assuming from theirs, because that they have, all the parks seem to be hiring like, younger, more hip kind of people that do their marketing stuff. Because every marketing person and every social media like head that I've interacted with in the past year or so has been like a younger person. So I'm assuming that they're kind of doing that on purpose. So I feel like that might be more the target. So maybe they are trolling, Silverwood, going back to Silverwood, maybe they are trolling like their audience, but I don't know if it's directly like for the enthusiasts. Maybe they're just trying to troll people in general,
No, I'm
like
not
their
saying.
whole.
I mean, I'm not saying they're trying to really troll anybody.
Yeah, I mean,
But
but
I'm
if
just
this was a
saying,
troll, like there was a cell phone tower and they were just being like gotcha kind of thing, I feel like it might be just like,
or
I don't know.
maybe
I don't feel
maybe
like they're
that maybe that Ferris wheel is going to go away.
maybe
I
they're
mean,
removing
like,
all of their roller coasters next year. That would be great. Yep, we're closing, guys. So that was the change. The park's done.
I don't know. Yeah, it's too soon to really know.
Yeah,
It's always exciting to see parks do this because they have something up their sleeves. Um, but there's nothing to go on other than this one post. It could be good, it could be bad. Who knows? I mean, it's not likely going to be like a cell phone tower. I'm not really thinking that.
yeah,
Um, but it's potentially there. Um, but some confirmed good news. How about let's get into
yeah,
some of that?
yeah, for sure.
Hershey Park, who continues to amaze me at how well they seem to be doing through all of the COVID stuff,
Hmm.
has just announced that they are going to have 5 weekends of Hershey Park in the Dark and 5 weekends of Christmas Candy Lane. So this is like they're not slowing down. They're
No,
they're doing really well.
yeah.
Um, they I actually was up there this on Labor Day. Actually, I woke up and I said, "What? It's Labor Day and I'm doing nothing, and I'm like less than 2 hours from Hershey Park. Why am I sitting here?" So I went up and I think I think that I might have to now say Candemonium has moved. If you may remember, I was
Yeah.
pretty indifferent about Candemonium when I first wrote it.
Yep.
It has moved up and it may be my favorite B&M hyper now. And there's a key point to this. You have to ride in the front. And I don't understand this technology that they're using because B&Ms
Yeah.
you're supposed to ride in the back.
It's an
But on
unspoken law.
Candemonium, the front, yeah, it's just weird. But the front is just unreal.
Well, yeah,
It's
yeah. I've
it's a
had that.
really, really
That's a
good ride.
strange phenomenon that happened to me too with Twisted Cyclone at Six Flags Over Georgia, and I've said this just as you stated that you thought Canada was just your run of the mill hyper, but I've stated before that, I mean, Twisted Cyclone is the only RMC that I think is a front row ride, and it was so weird because I rode in the back and I'm like, yeah, that's all right, that's cool, it's good, it's nothing crazy. It was my 200th coaster, so I was like, that's cool, I'm glad I got on it. Then I went back later and rode in the front, and I'm like, holy crap, that was crazy. Like that is, and like that's like I got the, if not more ejector airtime in the front, but you could also feel like the speed in your face, and then the inversions were crazy, and everything felt better in the front, and I don't understand that, but I would agree that that's how it feels, for sure. It's like you
I
feel like,
actually kind of felt that way with Storm Chaser, to be honest.
yeah, I didn't feel that with Storm. You see, no other RMC I've ever felt that way. I like other
Well,
RMCs.
and
Like,
I also
RMCs are good in the front
Twisted
too,
Timbers.
but I don't think they're better than the
Well,
back.
I think on Twisted Timbers, the front seat, the three Camelbacks, I think are actually a little bit better in the front seat.
Yeah.
But just those 3
Nah, I
Camelbacks.
don't agree with
It's
that.
not enough to justify riding in the front seat because the back makes the entire ride spectacular. And it doesn't take a whole lot away from those.
For
But
my, I don't even know. I think 200 rides on it or something like that. I wouldn't say that, based on my experiences. I think the back is, I think they're probably about equivalent in terms of the airtime you get on the Camelbacks because the Camelbacks provide such solid airtime throughout the entire train that it's really like not a significant difference wherever you sit, I think. But everything else is,
that's the
the
thing.
back is crazy.
I think that the front is better on those Camelbacks, but it's negligible. It's just it's a minute better. Like I said, I always sit in the back because the rest of the ride is definitely better in the back. But anyway, Hershey Park,
In the dark.
they haven't really announced. Well, Hershey Park in the dark isn't really like your typical haunt.
Yeah.
I don't think it ever was. I've not actually been to it. I most likely will be there this year since I have a pass and it's now my home park. I envision that I will be there for Hershey Park in the dark.
Hopefully,
But
at least once.
yeah, it's more of just like Halloween decorations, and they turn a lot of lights off. Like Laugh Track, you ride completely in the dark. It's pitch black in
A night
the
ride
building.
on Laugh Track?
Yeah, indeed. It is a night ride on Laugh Track. That's exactly what it is. And they also turn like all the lights off of Lightning Racer and Wildcat, and I think Comet as well. So I don't think that there's like they don't really have the normal concerns that most parks have with their haunt.
Yeah, and
so I don't think that
that's a good thing for them during this is that they don't really have to change their event at all.
Right.
No
Exactly.
alterations of the event.
Right. They're doing the Trick or Treat Trail, which this year they're actually going to set up the boardwalk, which is their water park.
Yeah.
That's actually going to be for trick or treating there, which is kind of interesting. It'll be interesting to see how some of these things play out. Like trick or treating is going to be an interesting thing in the time of COVID.
Yeah.
But like I said before, Hershey's been doing a really good job. Obviously, there are those people that they just don't like to comply. But Hershey is, even when I was there on Labor Day, they had security guards out around the pathways, and they were telling people, you need to cover your nose. I really want to walk around with a bullhorn and say, the mask goes over your nose over and over again, because I don't understand why there are some people that can't grasp this concept. But yeah, I expect it'll be a good event. And I love their Christmas event. They have, it's not as many lights as like what you see at Busch Gardens or Kings Island, but it's pretty spectacular, and it has I don't know, it has a different feel to it that's really enjoyable.
What's funny for me is that I was looking through their ride list for their Christmas event. They're running Candemonium, but they're not running Sky Rush, which seems kind of odd. Like, I get that it's a new ride and they want to ride it, but it's just like B&Ms are typically rides that aren't able to run in cold weather. And it's funny to me that they're going to be running that, but not Sky Rush, which is right next to it, and I feel like could be better.
This goes back to, I mentioned this a few episodes ago. Well, maybe it's been like a month or two now.
They all kind of blend together at some point, right?
Well, yeah. There was when I went there for the first time this year, I went with my sister, my niece, and nephew, and one of the employees was talking to my sister, and then I came and joined after I had to visit guest services, so I came back and I walked up and joined the conversation. And he was explaining, and like I said back then, this is kind of a grain of salt thing, but he was explaining that they were kind of setting up Candemonium to be a year-round roller coaster, and that Chocolate Town was actually going to be a year-round thing. And I actually really thought about this when I was leaving the park. Candemonium is actually a really, really far way away from the rest of the park.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you hit your entrance, you enter through Chocolate Town, and you have Candemonium, but then you have that same walk that you used to have to get to the entrance. You still make that walk.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was also that, like, somebody was mentioning about those things that were on the track right before the trim brakes. And it looked to me like it's possibly some kind of, in some ways, if you look at it the right angles, it kind of looks like it might be somewhat like a booster where it's been acting as a trim brake now, but it also looks like it's so bulky and there's so many cables going to it that it almost also seems like it could be some kind of a boost. So it makes me wonder if there are actually controls on this ride that B&M has built. Like, this may have been something Hershey Park and B&M thought about way back. And they said, look, we want to try to run this year round. And B&M has designed different bits of technology that could accomplish that. This is speculation. None of this is confirmed.
And the next news article we see coming up on the feed is Bob K. Mertz confirms Hershey Park has a launch on Candemonium.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it's definitely not going to be a launch or anything. But if you think about that, I mean, the problem is you have to keep it from volleying. So if you have these places where you can where a computer can sense how fast the train is going and then boost or trim if necessary. Because normally a trim brake, you enter at a higher speed than what you exit all the time.
Yeah.
But if you can actually create a device that is also able to boost that. So if you enter at 28 miles an hour and you need to exit at 30, it has the ability to boost you that extra 2 miles per hour.
Mm-hmm.
Then that can overcome a lot of the problems you have of running roller coasters in the cold weather. So I don't know. It's just kind of like one of those things like, oh, Candemonium's open for Christmas Candy Lane. And it's like, that just kind of goes into what was said and kind of like, I don't know. It may be one of those, like, if it gets 20 degrees, they say we can't run it. Who knows? But I don't know. It just kind of, to me, I think there's something there.
You'll be our representative there. And let us know if that happens. And you'll let us know if you can feel a boost.
Sure East Coaster next year, this question will come up. If it doesn't, I'll bring it up.
If it doesn't come up, Bob will bring it up. Exactly. Yeah. And hopefully I'll be there for that. So we'll get to be answering that question with one another. All right. Well, good news there with Hershey Park extending some of their events, both of their events, Christmas Candy Lane and Hershey Park in the Dark. Some bad news, though, coming out of Denmark, sadly. One of the last Zaire Flitzers is going to be retired after nearly 50 years of operating. There's not many of these rides left, and I've heard they're pretty fun attractions. I have yet to do one, but...
Yeah, I don't know if I've actually been on one. It's kind of weird because I don't recall actually being on one, but yet when I look at the cars, I feel like I've been in one.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really know. I know that, I mean, even Zera's kiddie coasters are pretty, they can be pretty fun.
Yeah.
These kind of remind me a lot of a Schwarzkopf Wildcat too.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly
a very fun ride. I know that there was also Maurice Pier just retired theirs because they put the new tram car coaster in.
Right now there's 3 operating, including racing at Bakken, which is the one that's closing here in a couple of months, I believe. But after that, there's only 2 remaining. That'll be the one at Jolly Roger Amusement Park in Maryland. And there's also one called Speed Track, which is at the park called Rand Show, which is in South Africa. So you only got 2 of those left. One's in like South Africa, which I don't know if any of us will get to anytime soon. And then one's in Maryland, which is pretty manageable drive for both me and Bob. So luckily for us,
Yeah.
we got one close by. But I mean, if you're in the Midwest or if you're out in California, I mean, there's not much of these rides left anymore, which is sad. It's sad to see because they are, I've heard good rides and they're pretty historic rides. I mean, all of these opened up in like the 70s. So, yeah, sad to see. Sad to see.
Yeah, looking at the list here, I don't think I've ever been on. I don't see any that I've possibly been on, so I must be thinking of obviously I'm thinking of Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Maybe, maybe, maybe. All right, well, when we get back from this break we're about to take, we're going to be talking about Busch Gardens Williamsburg and some park merchandise. We'll be right back after this. And then I'll be like,
Yay!
you didn't think when I said we're talking
Hey,
about
Pam.
Busch Gardens Williamsburg that we'd be at Busch Gardens Williamsburg.
Oh yeah, that's right. This is where we go. Insert here.
It's a part of my rock and roll fantasy. I wonder if I'll get trademarked for singing
Oh.
a song.
Hold on, I have to take medicine. I'll be right back.
It's a part of my rock and roll dream. It's a great song, by the way, guys. All right. Well, we're going to talk about some park. Everybody in the chat. I know Timmy, you didn't respond to the poll. Alex, if you're still there, and Pam, you guys can all answer the poll, please, because we need a little bit more responses. The poll for this week is: what is your favorite park merchandise? This can be a favorite shirt, favorite mug, favorite lanyard, favorite anything. Please just get it in there real quick, because we're going to give ours off first, and then you guys can give yours. So, yeah, just answer it here, Timmy. I mean, there's no reason to answer it. There's nowhere else to answer it unless you go to the website, but I won't make you do that. I'd rather you do it here. That way I can just copy and paste it from YouTube, honestly.
All right, I'm back.
And then Pam, if you are up to it, and then Alex, if you're still there, that'd be great.
That'd be great.
Feel as free to be descriptive as you want. Like, explain why you like it, or explain it more, or anybody that's there too, as I know there's more than just Pam and Timmy. I wish Parkson. Yeah, that would be cool. I've had the privilege of holding some wheels, like Griffin at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. When you go on their behind the scenes tour, you actually get to hold it. So that would be really cool to have in your house. I do have a piece of track, a piece of track, I believe, from Wild One at Six Flags America, but I don't have a wheel. That would be cool. But hey, the Game Pro. If you want to give your favorite park merchandise off in the chat as well, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick, and we'll be right back after this break. Bob, keep him company.
Yeah, I guess I can keep you company. I don't know how much company I really am though, but that's something I've kind of wondered about the selling like coaster wheels and stuff, but I kind of have a theory that they probably actually sell them back to the manufacturer to be refurbished, because most of the wheels are solid steel wheels with polyurethane, so they can just recoat with polyurethane. So I think that might be some of it. Some of it might also be liability issues, because if that ended up like at some rundown amusement park, somehow they could, I don't know, say, well, hey, it was a Gardens wheel, or whatever. I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot of I mean, you kind of in some ways think, well, that would be free money, just sell parts of it, but I don't know. It would be kind of funny to think of a park like like a little park going to the gift shop of another park that decommissioned a coaster and buying roller coaster wheels to take back to their park and use them. Is that made to thrill, or is that something different, Timmy?
It's the drawing by Block Breaks. He says it's the drawing that Block Breaks drew. That's somebody on Instagram that we know.
Oh, were they selling them at the park or?
Yeah, it's at the park. It's like a hand drawn image of Voyage. It's really good, actually.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It was just really expensive, so I decided not to get it. It's like $30 for it, and I'm like, it's like a piece of paper size, and I'm like, I don't know if that's worth $30. Like, it's a good drawing, really good drawing, and as much as I would love to support.
Volcano seat.
That's good. That is good. I would love to say a lot of stuff. Like, I can't say any of my stuff on the wall though, because I didn't buy any of this. Well, I bought the Curse of Dark House, but I've said that. But like maps and stuff, maps is probably my go-to answer for like what I collect from parks. But I don't buy maps. It's not really merchandise. And I didn't buy these flyers. All of these were free from Ace, or in an auction, or like not an auction, but like
Oh wow,
giveaway.
that is a really cool drawing.
Yeah, it is. It's really cool.
I like that a lot. I almost got one. Oh, the volcano seat. Wait, oh, that's Eden.
Oh.
That's why. Now it all makes sense. I don't know why
I
I
forgot that too. Honestly, I forgot your tag too. Edon, give us your favorite piece of park merch. And Pam.
I
You kind of slid around the answer there. You didn't give us a true answer.
I actually do like the Made to Thrill Voyage poster that I got, which eventually will end up back here.
Oh yeah, you got one too, right?
Do you like my thermostat?
Some good park merch, Bob. Yeah, we got a lot of nano coasters.
Yeah,
we got a lot of those, so I'm sure.
I'm so excited to get the Volcano Nano Coaster.
Really? I thought you'd be really mad and unhappy about that.
I need to start putting stuff here, but I also want to wait till I get. I don't know what the deal is with this webcam I ordered, because I ordered it in May. You would think they could get it to me by now.
Is that your favorite piece of park merch, Pam? Is that old pass member cup from Busch Gardens? Would you say?
It's from a time when Busch Gardens didn't screw over their past members.
It's from a time that Busch Gardens Williamsburg was owned by Anheuser. All right, cool.
Yeah, before Anheuser was a crappy company.
Do you like any company or corporation, Bob?
I like Zero.
Acceptable.
Yeah, I do.
Not named Sheets.
I love Sheets.
Not named Sheets.
Mm.
Why did you put so many spaces there? There we go. That's good. All right, you ready?
Yeah, I know. I know there's a webcam shortage, but like still, May. I ordered it in May, and in May they told me it was going to be like a month. And It's like been a season.
Oh yeah, the Cedar Point 150 anniversary book. I forgot about that.
Oh, that's actually a really good one. Yes, Timmy, Sheets is better than Wawa. And here's another thing that I will tell you.
About the same.
Sheets' Twitter is on par with Kentucky Kingdom every bit. They are amazing.
I'd say
at Twitter.
Wawa and Sheets are about equivalent in terms of like food and stuff like that, though. Maybe their social
No.
media is better, but I mean, I'd say Wawa subs. Wawa subs are the greatest sub. Like,
Shut up.
that's pretty the best.
Shut up. Shut up. No, Quiznos. Quiznos is the greatest subs.
I have a
But there
Quiznos next
no
to me.
Quiznos around here.
I have one
'cause
like 5 minutes from my house right now.
Are you serious?
Yep.
The problem is they abuse their franchisees, and
Yeah.
that's why they never last long. I want to see that.
It went from like none to like everything. It went from like
Yeah.
nobody answering my.
Now Pam likes everything
Yeah.
except her volcano seat. I still wish she would have won that.
I would have loved seeing her like in her classroom, just like, "Hello, boys and girls," like sitting in a volcano chair
She's just sitting in the volcano seat.
on the floor. Like it's not even attached to anything. She's just sitting on it on the ground. The parents walk in for a parent back to school night. She's like, "Hey guys, what's going on?" She has like some like Congo theming in her room. Just what the hell is going on here? Just imagine
It'd be
being
even better if she put wheels on it and somebody walked up behind her and went.
Like, just have all our first graders graders get underneath her and carry her around and like run really fast. Yeah, we had someone respond with on-ride photos, so I mean you can say that, but I mean it's already in the rundown, so we got it. All right, I think we're good, guys. Thanks. I mean we got like 15 responses, I think, so we can make do with what we got, and I'm sure me and Bob will diverge into some of the stuff and talk for a little bit. So, all right, you ready, Bob?
Me talk? What?
Me talk too? You know, like I don't like to talk. Apparently, I like to talk too much. Oh boy. I bet you. I mean, I don't know if it would look. I don't know if it'd be a good, comfortable office chair, but it would be pretty cool looking. It might be worth it, honestly.
It has restraint so you don't fall out of it.
Yeah, I was talking
one of
about
those people that
Edon's response. It says he said it wouldn't make for a comfortable office chair, and I'm like, I think it could. It wouldn't be comfortable, maybe. Like,
there's people that fall out of their office chairs.
and I mean,
drunk or something.
you could sit if you can sit in a. If you can sit in, I mean, on volcano. I mean, you can sit in coasters and you feel fine. You're not like uncomfortable. So, I mean, they're made for sitting in.
Yep, but it's not on Volcano. It's not from Volcano.
Exactly. I mean, Pam would have been spending that much money for volcano seat too. So
she almost spent that much on a volcano seat.
Exactly, Pam. Exactly. All right, let's get ready. Let's get started. So I guess I'm gonna transition from the Busch Gardens thing. Do you want to do it like pretending like we're getting back from Busch Gardens right now, or do you want to just be like, "Yep, that was us from Busch Gardens," or do you want to be like, "Ah, that was a fun trip. We had fun."
I say we don't say anything. Just at Busch Gardens, we say, "All right, now on to our weekly poll," and then we just say, "We just continue."
You're gonna say it. All right. Remember, you're gonna be the one that says, "All right, now it's time for the weekly poll," and then I'm gonna go, "That's right, Bob. It's time for the week." And then it'll be like an actual transition.
Okay.
Because if I say it, then it's gonna be kind of weird. Then I'm like, "Now it's time for the weekly poll." Yes, now we're doing the weekly poll. Like it's just gonna be kind of weird. All right.
All right. 3, 2.
That is correct. It is time for the weekly poll now. The weekly poll this week was, what is your favorite type of park merchandise? And this was kind of a broad question. We kind of wanted broad answers. You know, we wanted people to be able to choose from a range of park merchandise. Some people said like their favorite type of shirt. Some people just said they like shirts, and then they explained why they like shirts as compared to other things. You know, there was a lot more. You could get as specific as you wanted, but you could also be as broad as you wanted. So that's why we kind of phrased it that way. We didn't say like, what is your favorite type of shirt or your favorite type of lanyard or your favorite, you know. This way you can talk about anything really that is for sale at parks. So we got a considerable amount of responses, some good ones, some good detailed ones here. I quite enjoyed getting some fun lanyards was the first response. They look cool regardless if you have them around your neck or if you have them sticking out of your pocket. I have a really cool Fury 325 one from Carowinds. And I have a lot of lanyards too. I don't really wear them, so I don't know why I get them, but I mean, if you watch the live streams,
lanyards all the time. And then I show up to Ace Events going, I left my 20 lanyards at home. Can I borrow a lanyard, please?
Yeah. I mean, if you watch
We
the
can
live
see
streams
people.
Thursday night at 9 o'clock when we record, you can see I have like a whole string behind me that I have all my lanyards hanging off of, and I never wear them. I just don't, but I have a bunch of them. I don't even know. I have a Fury one. I don't know if it's the same one. Could be, could be not, but I like my Fury one too, so I would call this one really cool as well. So Fury definitely, if maybe they have multiple, but they definitely have a couple cool lanyards there. So that's a good one. Someone said Nano Coasters and said that they have the Apollo's Chariot one, which is also one. I have that one as well, but that's on their website, Coaster Dynamics, as just a hyper coaster. They just call that model the hyper coaster model. For some reason, they don't call it like Apollo's Chariot. I bought it off their website, and it's just called the hyper coaster. But yeah,
I really wonder what happened with that. Did they ever sell that as Apollo's?
I don't know. I think they might be selling it now. Maybe I'm wrong there. That might be wrong. I know they're selling Griffin, and I know they're selling a couple other rides at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. I don't know. It's kind of weird that they market one as the hypercoaster, though, when it's strictly Apollo's Chariot.
I mean, that was the first hypercoaster, the first B&M hypercoaster of that model. But I mean, it's obviously Apollo's Chariot's going to be a trademark, so they can't sell that without Busch Gardens permission.
Just seems weird they would make that if they didn't have Busch Gardens Williamsburg permission, because I mean they're not going to sell.
That's why I'm wondering if they ever did.
That's why I think they might be I think they might have in the past, or they were finalizing a deal with them or something.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like maybe Busch Gardens wasn't interested in carrying it anymore, but Coaster Dynamics still saw a demand, so that's why they sell it as just as a hypercoaster. I don't know.
Could be possible. I'm also.
It's hard to say.
I'm looking real quick, so stall for time real quick. I'm gonna look and see if they do in fact sell the Apollo's Chariot model on their shop.
Oh, the next person said, "I don't buy park merch. It's too expensive and oftentimes cheaply designed and made." This person has not been to Knoebels. Just gotta say that because Knoebels actually is not very expensive and actually is fairly actually quality stuff. There's a few things that maybe not, but on the most part, it's not a bad stance to have. The funny thing is I have this thing, and my niece and nephew now know it. I do not like any kind of merchandise at a park that does not say something about the park. So if I say, okay, hey Piper, LJ, I'll let you pick something out of a gift shop. I will buy you something. They now know that they have to pick something that either has the park name or a roller coaster or some ride for the park, because it just, why would you go and just buy something that has nothing to do with the park? It just, I don't know. It just frustrates me. I don't care if it's like something you could buy in a store, as long as it says the name of the park, because then it's like, that's supposed to be a memory of that park.
Yeah, I agree. Quick update. Apollo's Chariot model is in fact being sold at Busch Gardens Williamsburg this year. So could Could be they were finalizing a deal with them maybe, and they were just going to sell the Hypercoaster because they had already made them. I don't know, but yes, that is in fact happening this year. Polished Chariot does have its actual like logo and stuff on the actual like steel plate that you put into the Nano Coaster. Right now, mine just says Coaster Dynamics on it. It doesn't say Polished Chariot because obviously this was not labeled as a Polished Chariot, just the Hypercoaster. Back to this response.
I wonder if you can get a retrofit kits to put the Apollo's label on the.
I'm just gonna go to
model.
Busch Gardens Leesburg. I'm gonna buy the Polished Chariot model. I'm gonna throw away the actual model itself and just take the steel plate out, just so I can call it, just so it can actually, in fact, be a Polished Chariot because it's not a Polished Chariot right now. It's just a Hypercoaster. I agree with this person in terms of I don't know if they're referencing how they're designed. I would say maybe cheaply looks, because I think most park shirts are designed all right, you know, in terms of like they're good, comfortable shirts, but cheaply designed in terms of, I think a lot of park merch looks cheaply, like it looks cheap, like the logos and the graphics just look kind of gross, and it looks like they just kind of threw up some coaster track on it. I 100% agree if that's what you're going for, and there are shirts that I own that I go, ugh, when I look at it. It's like, why did I buy that? Like I have a Nitro shirt from Six Flags Great Adventure, and it's just like this big ball of track in the background, and it just looks kind of disgusting. And then it's just like Nitro really big, and then there's like the facts and everything. It just looks like it's like too much going on. It's kind of crazy. It makes you want to have like a seizure looking at it. It's like, oh my gosh, what's going on there? It's like, oh. So if that's what you're referencing when you talk about cheaply designed, I would 100% agree with that. There are shirts that I purposely leave out and don't buy. I wouldn't say I don't buy park merch though. I do think it's too expensive too. I agree with that also.
I don't think I have a single Six Flags shirt, because all of Six Flags shirts are terrible. Yeah. And actually, well, I haven't been to Great America since '99.
Great Adventure?
I think. Yeah. Isn't that what I said?
I said Great America, but it's all right.
Yeah, okay, Great Adventure. That's what I meant to say. I haven't ever been to Great America. Anyway, but like the most of the Six Flags parks have nothing based on their coasters. They're all like just generic, like Six Flags, and here's a stupid slogan that people were saying today, like LOL, Six Flags. Like, why?
YOLO.
What it has. Yeah. Six Flags does that stuff. It's like, I think that's what happens when you get like some really old and overeducated guy to like try to be hip.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what happened. That's how Six Flags merchandise is made.
They're like, oh yeah, man, this will sell. The younglings love this stuff, man. Like, and it's funny to me, and this is getting off on sidetrack, but it's funny to me how corporations they find out stuff that was popular like a year ago. So they'll start talking. People will start talking. Like people in school now are like TikTok and all of this, and I'm like, TikTok isn't like new anymore. Like that's not something like, oh, you know, TikTok, you're cool. Like everybody knows TikTok. That's not like a new hip thing to be a part of now. Like it's just not. And like teachers are like, oh yeah, TikTok and cool. And it's like, all right, you guys aren't proving you're cool or hip or anything by saying that you know TikTok. Like it's not cool. It's funny to me how corporations will kind of like, and older people will try to like almost take that and be like, oh yeah, we're cool and we're hip. Like, look, we know this stuff. And it's funny that Six Flags does do that. But I think Six Flags does that. They also do shirts where they have like the logo of the coaster on it, which I think is kind of boring a lot of times, like just to have the logo. And then they'll have shirts like what I just described, where it's like too much going on. They don't really have any medium. They don't have any medium in between their coaster shirts, which I think other chains do. Like Cedar Fair does really good. They have shirts that are like different. I just bought an Orion shirt at Kings Island the past weekend. It says like Project X Engineer, you know, and then on the back it says like something, I don't remember exactly what it says, but it says like plans for something, you know, something big. Kings Island. It's an Orion shirt. But you can't, it's like subtly a coaster shirt. It's not like bam in your face, coaster everywhere. And it's not just the logo either. It's not just the logo.
Timbers and Hanover Hills, or Hanover Hills? Is that what it is?
That is.
The Orchard?
Yeah. Hanover Hills Orchard, yes.
Is that the name? Yeah.
Correct, yeah.
I love that. I love that. It was so cool because it was like one of those, like, if you knew what Hanover Hills was, you knew that was a coaster shirt, but you didn't, like, it was just such a neat thing. It was, and that's the other thing is like Cedar Fair kind of like, for the most part, seems to kind of get their own thing.
Yeah.
Six Flags tries to copy the trend. Cedar Fair's like, whatever, like this is what we're doing. Like we're not going to try to fit in. We're just going to do stuff that's good and decent
Hmm.
and like, fun.
Yeah.
And I think
And in some
I think
cases,
that's different.
like I just stated, like I not in your face, bam, like this is a roller coaster. I also got a Mystic Timber shirt that just says like Mystic, and then like below it says Timbers, and then like in the middle it says Kings Island and like established in 1972 or whenever the park opened. I believe that's right, 71. And it's like cool stuff like that, or it's like that is like
Yeah,
a subtly
they,
coaster shirt. It's not like there's Mystic, like there are shirts like that. They have both of those for everybody that wants a shirt, because not everybody wants like the Mystic Timbers shed in the back, and then there's all this track going around in the car and the stats, and like that's just a lot. And I don't like those kind of. I used to, and now that I have a lot of those
I mean,
shirts, I'm like I need to get
I
away from that because I'm not a huge fan of those.
I like stats shirts, but I don't want all stats shirts. And it
Yeah,
also depends on how they're designed too, because there are some stat shirts that I'm just like, that just doesn't look
I
good.
don't mind stat shirts.
Or,
I like stat shirts, but it's just when there's also like the track and the logo and the shed and the train. It's just like all of this stuff. It's like almost like you have to like people that look at the shirt have to like look at it and like they have to like analyze it. What's going like it can't just be like Mystic Timbers. And you're like, cool, Mystic Timber shirt, awesome. It's like, wait, is that? Oh yeah, there's the train. There's this. There's the stats. There's the rock. It's like a lot to look at. It's just like overwhelming almost to look at some of these shirts. And that's just my opinion.
yeah,
But again, if that's what he's talking about, I don't know if he's talking about like the actual designed like material that it's designed with, like or what. But I would agree that if you're referencing how cheaply designed, you mean like sometimes they look like cheaply designed in terms of like the animation and the graphics that they use for the shirts. I agree in some aspects the parks do that, especially Six Flags in particular. But there are some, Cedar Fair does do some. But I think again
Cedar
they have.
Fair has started to do some of those too. Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely do, but they still have a good medium. Like they have the other
Yes.
selections as well, which is something Six Flags doesn't do. All right, well, moving on from that. Another talking about some more shirts, but this guy is actually talking about how he does have some cool shirts. So he did buy some park merch, obviously. I have an insanely sick Dueling Dragons shirt that is split down the middle with one side of the dragon blue and one is red. Really sick. So it sounds awesome. It sounds really cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's all I mean, I haven't ridden the ride. I don't know too much about
I didn't
the.
get to ride that either.
Yeah, so like I don't know too much about what's going on there, but it looks like a cool shirt. I have one that has from Busch Gardens Williamsburg, like a retro shirt like that from Busch Gardens Williamsburg with like Dragonfire. Doesn't have the split down the middle, but it does have like the dragon face, and it's like Dragonfire. And then I think it's actually like it's all four of the coasters, so it's a pretty cool shirt like that. But
Makes me wonder if there was ever a chiller shirt in like that was something like that.
yeah, I wonder.
Batman and Robin, that would have been a really cool.
That
We
would have
could
been
have.
cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was such a great ride. Such a great ride.
This one was funny because actually I talked about this with Timmy the other weekend when I was at Hollywood Nights with him. He said this guy said I had or this guy or girl or person, I don't remember exactly who wrote this. Sorry, I had a sick made to thrill pin that is a wheel cover of Montu, which I really like. And it's funny to me because me and Timmy, as I stated at Hollywood Nights last week, he has this exact pin, I believe. And I was looking at it and I'm like, what is that? Like, it's just weirdly shaped. And I'm like, it's just a bunch of like colors and stuff. And he's like, it's the wheel cover of Montu. Or no, he said it was the train. That's why I was confused. And then he specified it's the wheel cover. And I'm like, oh, wait, crap. Yeah, I can see that now. But it's actually like shaped like the wheel covers of B&M inverts. And then it's like colored in like Montu's, which is pretty cool. They also have one of Alpengeist, which is weird. They don't have I guess because Alpengeist is all white, so they don't actually have the actual wheel cover of Alpengeist. But I looked at the website, and they also have an Alpengeist one, but it's like it has like snow and frost, which is kind of cool. Montu's is the actual one on Montu, and then the Alpengeist one is just like snow and frost, which is pretty cool too. But yeah,
So Busch Gardens should put Snow and Frost on Alpengeist's wheel cover. Is
exactly,
what you're saying.
they should. Yeah. Someone said they have a sick made to thrill pin. I just said that's the same one. That's why I didn't want to do this so small. Stop the show.
Dagnabbit.
Find out the holly. Bring out the 5630.
5630?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
5640. We're out of sync a little bit.
10 seconds out of sync? Unacceptable.
Apparently.
That's astronomically impossible. All right. All right, you ready?
3, 2.
Someone said another hobby they have is collecting postcards, so I always pick up a few when I go to the parks. I have collected a couple of postcards. Let me look real quick. I have a Kentucky Kingdom one, a Holiday World one, Knoebels one, actually 2 Holiday World ones, and a Kings Island one, and a Steel Force one from Dorney Park. So I don't collect them as a hobby. I collect them because they're roller coaster postcards, and they're cool. But, you know, I don't collect a lot, but I have about 5. So I definitely agree. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, postcards are one of those things that's like, I'd probably buy more of them if I didn't always lose and destroy them. I just feel like they're not durable enough for me. What I should do is I should probably start buying postcards and laminating them as soon as I get home.
Yeah.
That's probably
Yeah.
it's probably the best thing I could do, because
I
then
actually
at least
want to
keeps
show
them.
or describe my Banshee postcard I just got at Kings Island because I think it's really cool. I don't know if you can see it, but it's 3D, and that's the reason I got it. I was like, I'm not gonna get a postcard, and then I saw these, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so cool. It's like 3D almost. It's one of those ones that's like, I'm trying to like, you can probably hear it in the podcast audio. It's like, it's one of those ones that you can like scratch and it makes that noise and it like alters a little bit. So I thought it was really cool, and I love Banshee, and I got it just because like we went into the gift shop, and I'm like, I'm not gonna get a postcard. I'm gonna get a shirt. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get this, but I'm not getting a postcard because I saw them there, and I'm like, I don't really want one. You know, they're 50 cents, but whatever. Like I didn't really want one. And then I saw the 3D ones, and I saw that it was Banshee, and I'm like, I'm gonna get Banshee because everyone was ragging on it this trip, so I'm gonna get it because I love Banshee so much. I posted something to the social media page earlier this week, and it was about Banshee. I just don't get like the sudden dislike for the ride. A lot of people responded to the Instagram and were like, yeah, it's my least favorite invert, but I still like it, but it's my least favorite. And I'm like, I don't get it.
That's Instagram. We learned last week about Instagram coaster enthusiasts. They don't know what's up.
Yeah.
Really, I know there's a lot of people that still love Banshee. There's not hate for it. I don't understand what happens on Instagram. I don't care to understand what happens on Instagram because it seems like it's always.
I mean, I'm not gonna bash everyone on Instagram. I respect everyone's opinion and thought, and they're cool.
Instagram. It's like it's just a different world that
Not
not me.
Yeah, not a part of it.
Right, it's not me.
All right. Well, someone said, you know that person that is always bidding, that is always in a bidding war at coaster auctions? That's me. I like having actual pieces of rides in my home.
So like a volcano seat.
Like a volcano seat, which is something that one of our friends almost did pick up. Pam, one of our friends, was coasting through the snow at Busch Gardens Williamsburg and almost picked up. Or no, Jeepers It's Winter at Busch Gardens Williamsburg and almost picked up a volcano seat that was for sale. I actually have a Curse of Dark Castle plaque, which I'll talk about a little bit later. But I mean, yeah, I agree. Having actual pieces of rides is really cool because it's almost like, man, this used to be on a ride, now it's in my home. It's just so weird to think about. It's really, really awesome. You know, like I have smaller pieces of rides, but when it's something as large as like a seat or a wheel or a piece of track or something like that, it's like, oh, this used to be on a ride at a park. Now it's in my home. It's just kind of cool. It's pretty cool. I agree. That's something I'd like to have.
So, are you going to be bidding for the Loch Ness Monster car?
Oh, I might start the bid off at like $20, and then once it gets higher than that, I'm gonna be like, yeah, there it goes. Now it's at like 13K, 15K, and I'm gonna be like, oh, all right, never mind.
That's like more than my car's worth.
I mean, it's probably gonna go for more than your car's worth. Yeah,
it's definitely gonna go for more than my car's worth. There's no doubt about that.
Someone said I don't dig coaster shirts, so I'm guessing he means like, I don't know what coaster shirts means. Maybe like what I was talking about, like with a bunch of coasters on it, or with this stuff. Maybe he's just meaning park coaster shirts. But he says I do like the stuff that Made to Thrill and Pursuit to Thrill do, which is a valid point because Made to Thrill and Pursuit to Thrill, like I did with the Orion shirt, they do subtle coaster shirts. A lot of their stuff's like they have one that says like B&M, and it's just like a little emblem of B&M, and that's like you can't even tell that it's a coaster shirt almost. So I would agree. I like coaster shirts too if you're talking about like coaster shirts you get at parks, but I would say I prefer like the Made to Thrill and Pursuit of Thrill, and really just any shirt that does that kind of thing where it doesn't look like a roller coaster shirt. I really like that. I think those are cool.
Yeah, I think they all have their spot. I like them all. I like the whole. I mean, it's basically my wardrobe. It's like that and pinball shirts and other few random like tech shirts and stuff like with funny sayings and stuff. That's my wardrobe. I have like maybe 2 polos just in case. So the next person said, my favorite type of merch is nano coasters. I particularly only like the wooden ones. I have Voyage, Raven, Mystic Timbers, and El Toro as of now. I've actually not done well. Actually, I guess I've only built Vortex, but are the wooden ones, are they any different to build than the steel ones with the structures?
I don't think they're
Or is
they're
it still
not
basically
different.
the same?
They're the same pretty much. I would say wood ones are easier a little bit because they have like a solid like structure that continue like the steel ones. You know, they're like different supports you have to like put in kind of.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a good point.
The
Yeah.
wooden ones kind of like the supports run together. That's probably the only difference really. I think also in terms of looks, the wooden ones just look better. Especially when you're talking about like inverting steel coasters, like what you said with Vortex. I mean they look good too, but I think the wooden ones look like more normal, especially because a lot of the Made to Thrill, or not Made to Thrill, a lot of the Coaster Dynamics steel ones that do inversions, like you can't show that they have inversions. Like a couple of the RMC ones they've done don't have like the corkscrews and the zero G rolls and stuff like that, and the cutbacks and all of those elements. So I think that maybe that's what he might be getting at there, that he doesn't like the steel ones that do inversions. I mean, my Apollo Chariot one looks pretty good too. They're definitely harder to do, I would actually say though. I would definitely say that.
I mean, the Vortex one does inversions.
Yeah, but does it do all of the inversions that it has? Like every single one?
Yeah, it has them all.
Yeah, maybe some of them aren't.
I don't know.
Maybe some of them. Or does it have
I mean,
like?
I
Does
guess
it have like the? It doesn't. Does Vortex have? It has a corkscrew. Does it have the corkscrew element?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, I didn't know
Yeah.
that. All right.
And it actually, interestingly, the one
Maybe
thing
he
about
just
the
likes wooden
corkscrew on
coasters. I
Vortex.
don't know. Maybe he just likes wooden coasters.
Well, anyway, the interesting thing I just want to say real quick about Vortex is the one thing I loved about Vortex is when you were going through like the second corkscrew, you actually kind of went around a support for the track above it. And on the Nano Coaster, there's actually a support there. So you're kind of like, it even kept that kind of true to the nature, which I thought was cool. Cause that was something I really liked about Vortex. It was like, you kind of like started going towards this upright support, and then you just kind of like drifted to the left of it, did your corkscrew right around that support. I always thought that was just a cool.
Maybe just a fan of wooden coasters then.
It could be. I
don't
mean,
know.
I think they look cool.
I think the wooden ones look cooler too.
Structures.
I don't know. I like the wooden ones probably more than steel too. I don't know. I only have one steel one though. I'd hope they make more inverts. If they made an Alpengeist one, that would be probably my favorite. I really want it. You know, like Dueling Dragons one looks cool, but it's like a very, it looks very hard to build. B, it's like throw up of track everywhere, so it's almost like you can't really tell that it's an inverted coaster. I want just like an Alpengeist model where like you can tell it's inverted, and I just think an Alpengeist one would be so cool. Please, Coaster Dynamics, if you're listening to this, make some Alpengeist ones, please. That would be awesome. All right, we got another response saying, I like any may start to talk about roller coaster shirts. I know there's a bunch of different ones out there and they're tacky, but hey. Yeah, I know some people that have those shirts, and there's definitely not like a bunch of different people that have made similar shirts. Like, warning, I'm going to talk about roller coasters, or I may start to talk about there's different like phrases, but they're very similar. Yeah.
I finally found a park that actually made the shirt that I've been wanting a park to make for such a long time.
What is that?
Hershey Park now has a they have a T-shirt, a kid's T-shirt that says, "I wish I was a little bit taller."
That is
I
good.
don't understand why more parks don't do that. And I even talked to Ace. I wanted Ace to make a shirt because like my niece was like all about like when can't wait till I hit 48 inches, and then it was I can't wait till I'm 54 inches. Right
Yeah.
now, my nephew's like I can't wait till I really hit 48 inches. I just like I think that's such a great idea for t-shirts that you just don't
Mhm.
see anywhere. And
Yeah.
I actually saw it at Hershey this Labor Day, like this week. It was really cool.
Well, talking about the Mace to talk about roller coaster shirts again. I think they are kind of tacky. I mean, I've seen a lot of people wear them, but I mean they're fun. They're definitely, they make sense because it's true. We may start talking about roller coasters. We may also create an entire podcast based on roller coasters and devote weeks and weeks to just talking about them. So it's definitely a shirt that speaks truthfully. Speaks truthfully.
It does.
Yeah. All right. Well, the next one we got was I have a really cool Maverick poster with the coaster centered and the sunset behind it, which is made by Made to Thrill. I think I've seen this poster, possibly. All the Made to Thrill posters are animated, I believe. So this is an animated
I
one.
love. I got that the Voyage Made to Thrill poster,
Yeah.
and I love that thing. I really wish I could have afforded to buy all four of them, but
Yeah. I
yeah, they're
got
really cool. They have really great posters.
I got all four of them in sticker form. I'm gonna put it on my car. I think I'm gonna line them up so they're like going across my car. They're bumper stickers kind of. So that's what I'm gonna do with them. But yes, I agree. The designs that Made to Thrill do is great, and I love how they all four, as I just said, they kind of connect and form one larger picture. If you buy all four coasters, or all four posters, which is awesome. I am a huge fan of coaster calendars, says the next reply, especially when the photos are high quality. And I would say I have a calendar. I wouldn't say my photos are the highest of quality, but they're fine. I don't need like insane quality, but I do know like certain photographers on Instagram and stuff will do coaster calendars. And I definitely do. I like them as well. I don't even like use my calendar. I just like looking at the coasters when I'm like recording a show or,
That
you know,
that's the problem now is nobody uses calendars. It's
yeah,
unfortunate.
exactly. That's exactly the point. I don't have anything written on it. But the thing that would be cool is if like Ace did something where they made a coaster calendar and then put all their events
They
on
do.
it. But they don't put
Oh
like all of their
yes.
events on it. That's what this is actually the one I have is an Ace calendar. But if they put all their Ace events on it, I could be like, oh, cool. On the 7th, there's these events, and one's in Texas. Oh, and one's in Virginia. I should, or what do you know? Or I would know about it most likely if it was in Virginia. But I could at least be like, oh, that's like it would be cool if they did stuff like that. Or if like,
That actually
hey, I was
actually a good
planning an
point.
event to Texas, and then I look at my calendar and see there's an Ace event there. Because I'm not always checking on the Ace website to make sure there's events going on. But it would be cool if the calendar actually had that on there. I think that would be a fun idea. Especially because they already have a calendar online, so it's not like it would be that hard to maybe just
I
use
think
that
the
as a
problem
thing
is
and then have just a
I
picture
think
of
at
it.
printing time they don't have all of the events in place
No,
for
they
the whole
don't.
year.
But even if they did just like the
So I think
major events, like if they just did like CoasterCon and Hollywood Nights, even though they're not really a part of Hollywood Nights, but like you get into Hollywood, like even do park events that Ace is
yeah,
included
but
in.
even, I mean, if you remember, even CoasterCon this year, even before
Yes,
COVID
this
was
was
a
an
thing, Ace
unprecedented year, though. I think it's not. I mean, nothing like this is
no,
ever
I'm
going to
saying
really happen again.
before COVID even happened, they weren't really sure what all the details were with CoasterCon,
No, but they knew
and
when the
that was
dates
after
were. They knew when
it
they had the dates
started.
solidified. Yeah, they had the dates solidified. I'm 100% confident about that. They just were like, there might be a tour this date, there might be this park that day. They didn't know but they just said CoasterCon. It wouldn't have to say like which parks and which your actually the itinerary was. But they had the dates
Maybe
solidified.
I don't know. I don't know. I just think it kind of be weird to have some and not all.
And
But
normally, I
yeah, I
mean, like
guess
if you look now, you can already see like a majority of the events for 2021. I mean, so I feel like they could do a considerable amount of events still, even if they didn't like one changed here, one changed there. That wouldn't be the biggest deal. I mean, because calendars already sometimes have errors like that in terms of dates and things like that. Sometimes I've noticed, but I don't know. That's just my take. I think it would be cool if they did something like that. Maybe we'll do a coaster talk calendar, and it'll just be pictures of Bob riding T3 and Merlin's Mayhem.
T3 and Merlin's Mayhem. That's right.
Exactly. I think we might outsell Aces if we like sold it at East Coaster. We'd get a couple people. Oh my gosh, is that just Bob riding T3 and Merlin's Mayhem? You know it is, guys. And then just $50 each. Just here we go. Yeah, all right. Coaster calendar is definitely something that's cool. Someone said, I'm always up for grabbing a great on-ride photo, especially silly ones. Of course. That's definitely one that I think every enthusiast has. Even, general public people buy, general public might buy like a coaster shirt here and there, but I mean, I know a lot of general public, they don't care. They just like buy the photo. They're like, I love the photo. I mean, you even have the ones that are trying to take the photo with their cameras and they're getting yelled at and they're like, oh, I'll just buy it or whatever. So I think everybody loves buying their photos or at least looking at it. That's just something that's like a tradition for many theme park goers in general.
I have to say something here. I really thought that like the photo pass thing was kind of a dumb idea for the most part. Then it was the first year that my niece was tall enough to ride like Millennium Force and, a lot of the big coasters at Cedar Point.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided, you know what, this year I'm going to buy the pass just because, this is going to be a lot of her firsts,
Exactly, yeah.
And so I got it. And it was amazing how much things changed because you can get unlimited amounts of photos.
Mm-hmm.
You start doing those silly things. Like my nephew and I had so much fun on Wilderness Express making funny faces at the camera. It was just like, and he ate it up. He loved it so much. And you wouldn't even think of doing that without a photo pass because like, I mean, you might, but you're not you're not going to have the photos. So it's a different thing. So there's something to be said about those photo passes. It's just that freedom of like, you can do whatever you want and, see if it looks good, see if it's funny and grab it.
Yeah. Doing that is fun. Making the funny face and stuff. It's also, I would say, equally as fun, or in my opinion, maybe even more, is riding it with someone that's never ridden it before and seeing their reaction in the photo. I love that, man. I love it. I love... I'll be doing something like, like my rock and roll sign or like a peace sign, or I'll have my hands up and I'll be like looking at the camera. And then my friend next to me is like wide eyes, mouth straight open, hair going back, their shirts flying up. And they're like, what the heck? It's great when it's something like that too. That's one of my favorites. And that's something that doesn't happen as much because a lot of my friends and stuff, when I go to parks, like I go to parks near here with them and they've been on everything. So when that does happen, it's really, really awesome. And that's the times that I normally do buy a on-ride photo. I actually have a couple on-ride photos behind me on my wall as well. One is my first ride on Twisted Timbers, and one is my first ride on Twisted Cyclone. So both RMCs actually, now I realize that. And both Twisted RMCs too. But, those are like my first ride, so I have almost like that same reaction. Like I'm like, my hands up, my hairs are back, my eyes are like, it's not like I didn't know where the photo booth or the photo camera was. I didn't know where that was happening. So it's just like me going like, whoa, and like having fun. And that's why I buy those normally, is if it's something like that.
I should hang up my first picture on Still a Vengeance.
Oh boy.
It was terrible. I hated that ride at first. I was like
yeah.
I looked like so mean and angry and like, get me off this thing. Second one looks a lot better.
I think my favorite piece of park merchandise is probably this Voyage print, was the next reply we got. I got this at Hollywood Nights this year, and it's a drawing that Block Breaks, who is a social media Instagram user, she drew this, and I really like the way it came out. Plus, it's really cool that I actually know the enthusiast who drew it. That is cool. I saw that print, and man, did I like
really
it.
Cool.
It's a really awesome print.
Really cool.
It's just... I didn't have enough incentive to get it. I don't know where I'd put it. I don't have any room on my wall. And while I do love the print, and while I do, I mean, it was $30, and I'm like, oh man, that's like really expensive for like a little. It was like a little piece of paper, kind of, which is great. And if you love it, I love it, and I love it too. But $30 was just like a lot for me because I didn't know exactly what I was gonna do with it. So for me, it was just like, eh.
Oh. If I would have saw it, like I see it now, and if I would have seen it in the store, 30, yeah, I probably would have plopped $30 down. This is another reason why I'm glad I didn't go to
Oh
Hollywood Med.
yeah, Bob. I mean, I don't. I don't know how confident Timmy feels in me sharing what he said or how much he would be okay with it, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm just gonna say that Timmy
Uh,
hit almost at Kings Island at Hershey Holiday World. He did, he did like $100. Kings Island, he hit close to $200 when park merchandise. So I mean, I can't imagine Bob.
I,
You would be like park merchandise isn't essential, but you'd be like, you have to get it, even though I mean you don't really have to, but it's just like, oh, like I was in the
you know
gift
what
shop
the
and I was
thing
like
is?
holding my hand. I was like looking at shirts and I'm like, oh, I like that. Ooh, I like this. Ooh, I like this. Ooh, I like that. And it's like, nope, nope, nope. I can't. There was so. If I could have, I would have bought pretty much everything in the store.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you think about it though, like it's not hard to get to $200
Oh
in
no,
a
and that's
in
I
a
mean
park.
we made that point earlier. We made that point. The guy or the response we got stating park merch is too expensive. Yeah, it's really not. I mean, you think like
But sometimes,
like
see,
like
like this is the
five or
thing,
six
like that
shirts
that
is
drawing. I mean, you think about how much work had to go into that drawing. Like I don't think that's overpriced. $30 for, you know, I mean,
no. I'm not
like
saying
I
it's
think that
overpriced. I'm not saying. I'm not trying
no, I
to
know.
state that.
No, I'm just making a point that not everything, even some of the stuff that seems expensive, if you think about it, isn't that expensive. Yes, a lot of the chain parks and their t-shirts and like some of that stuff like gets ridiculous, but um yeah, it's just I mean everything's expensive now. Like
Yeah,
money
I'm,
doesn't go very far anywhere
and I do want
anymore.
to state again. I'm not saying that the print was overpriced. I just was like $30, and I was like, I know I'm gonna have to get more merch and more food and more things like that. And I just didn't like. I didn't know what I was gonna do with it either. If I had like had a place on my wall for it ready, I would have been like, yep, I'm getting it. I don't care. It could have been $500, but I'm like, right now I have pretty much a full wall. I don't have any room in my desk to really put a picture. I don't have any places on my shelves right now. I don't have like and I want it to be in view. If I bought it, I want it to be on my wall or on my shelves, and I don't really have room for that kind of. It's pretty like it's the size of a piece of paper. So I mean, on my wall it would look kind of small, and then on my shelf it would look pretty big. So I don't really have anywhere it would fit that well. I mean, I could have figured it
See,
out
that's
probably, but I don't want to. That's like
that's the
time as
cool thing
well.
about having my own living room. I
Well,
have a lot. Now I need furniture still, but
I don't know if my
but
mom
we'll
would be
decorate.
like, "Yeah, let's just put a random coaster picture up in the living room. That's great. That really goes with the theme of the house, right?"
That's the great thing about having your own apartment is I can do whatever I want.
You could put it on the front door. Welcome to my house. You must look at Voyage
Could
to enter.
I could do that.
Someone said they have a DVD from Busch Gardens Williamsburg, which is their 40th anniversary DVD. It has some really cool footage. That seems awesome.
DVDs are something that more parks should do. Knoebels actually did quite a few DVDs, and they were all really cool. Um, it's I don't know why more parks don't do stuff about their history or like behind the scenes stuff or
Yeah.
things like that.
I
Because
mean, even
I
like
mean
this
that's a
is an
really
anniversary. We're not asking for like something every year or something like extensive and deep, but it's like when it's something big like that, that's something you should put out. Yeah.
yeah. I don't. I'd Cedar Point's 150th. They should do. I mean I don't know if they maybe will. I don't know, but I don't think I've seen anything about it. Like that'd be a great thing to have a DVD about the history of Cedar Point.
Yeah, it would. That would be really cool. And then the final response we got was I have a past membership cup from Busch Gardens Williamsburg. It's pretty old and they don't make it anymore. I have a couple of those as well. I have one from like Hallow Scream 2012. I mean, I'm sure the one you have might be much older than that, but mine's like 2012, 2011, something like that. So it's a while back as well. And it's really cool because it's
From a time before Busch Gardens passes were ridiculous.
oh 2011, yeah,
Remember that?
2011 was when they still did the passes like season passes. So yes. All right. Well, now it's time for our responses. Bob, I think that you should go first. Since your name in alphabetical order is technically above mine. We'll do like I'm used to I'm in the school mode, so alphabetical order, you go first.
Last names is reversed.
Yeah.
But anyway, I really like two T-shirts that I have. One is my volcano shirt that says it's hot up here, and it's like a graphic of like a volcano with the volcano train coming out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I've always liked that shirt, even before Volcano's demise. And the other shirt that I really really like is I have a Kings Island shirt that says "Play Again" on the front. It has like the pocket logo type thing.
Mm-hmm.
It has Kings Island and says "Play Again," and then on the back it has every coaster logo rendered as an 8-bit graphic. And it's just I love it. It looks really cool. And it still has Vortex, which it adds to it. It's just really really cool shirt. I really like that shirt a lot. There's been quite a few things. I mentioned I do really like that Made to Thrill poster that I got of
Yeah.
Voyage.
Yeah.
That's
Those
I
were awesome.
like that. And I do need to now find a front license plate. I need to decide what park do I need to put on the front of my car. Because now that I'm no longer in Virginia,
Mm-hmm.
I can put a vanity plate on the front of my car. So I need to think about that. If anybody has any ideas, send me an email. So that's going to be a new favorite, a future favorite.
Bob at
Hopefully.
koshertalkpodcast.com.
Yes, let me know which vanity plate I should put on the front of my car.
Indeed. My new license plate says airtime. So if anyone ever sees that out in Virginia, that's me driving around. I have it written. Virginia's license plates are kind of boring though. So, I have like a,
Yeah.
I have a
Is it
Maryland.
personalized plate?
Do what?
Wait, you have one on your car?
Yes, I have a car.
A vanity plate on your car?
No. I mean, my plate just says, like it just is written out. Like my actual plates just say airtime on them. Like they're just written out. I don't have a
yeah.
vanity
So you got a
plate.
personalized Virginia
Yeah, I got
plate.
a personalized Virginia plate.
Gotcha.
And
I thought you were saying you had a vanity. I'm like, wait, that's illegal in Virginia. Gotcha. Now,
breaking the
now
law.
I understand.
Breaking the law. Wicka chicka wow. Wicka chicka wow. Wicka chicka wow. Bad boy. What you gonna do? No, nope, not me. But the funny thing is also ironic because I'm a huge Maryland sports fan, so I have the Maryland Terrapin next to my Virginia, plate. It's kind of funny. People aren't probably gonna be happy about that. But talking about my favorite park merchandise now, I have a couple that I listed off. I would say my favorite though, and I don't know why. I just think it's insanely awesome. Is this mug I have of Stinger? Stinger at Dorney Park it's a used to be, excuse me, a Vekoma boomerang, an inverted boomerang, and recently was demised as well, closed, demolished, excuse me. So basically, what this is, demised.
Now that I think about it, it's been a while.
I
Time
know,
flies, man.
2 or 3 years now. Crazy.
It's
yeah.
been longer than that.
Uh,
It's been like 5.
I don't think it was 5 years. I don't think it was 2015. I'm pretty sure it was like 2017. We got to do some quick research. But anyway, I'll describe the ride while Bob looks that up. Stinger, it has like the regular print Stinger, just the logo Stinger, and it looks kind of boring. And it says Dorney Park underneath it. But then on the side, the actual handle of the cup is a 3D scorpion, like erected from the cup. So like the rest of the cup's 2D, and it's just like a mug. And then there's this huge scorpion on the side of it with its actual tail going into the cup, which forms the handle. And it's so awesome. It's so cool. I love it. It looks so unique. It's really awesome. I would buy all the mugs in the world if they all look like this. It's something spectacular. I love it.
So yeah, you're right. It was torn down in 2017.
Yeah.
It was standing but not operating the entire 2014 season though.
All right.
That's what
yeah.
I was thinking of, because I think that it was 2014 that my dad and I went there, and I was like, man, why is this closed? And then I found out that it was like really closed. But But then I actually don't think it operated too much even after that, even when it did open. But I had assumed it got torn down earlier than that. But nope, you're correct.
Yeah, because I
2000.
remember doing a segment on it on the show, and I'm like, I was not in the show 5 years ago, Bob. So I didn't make that up either. Also, something that I enjoy, something that I really really like, is my Beast Nano Coaster. So we had Nano Coasters mentioned. Nobody mentioned Beast though, so I can explain that. It's insanely large in terms of other Nano Coasters. Like the base is freaking huge. Like it's like the size of my face. Like I can put the base up to my face, and it's like it reaches that whole length and width almost. It's kind of crazy, and it's because the Beast is such a large ride, obviously, but it just looks really cool. And you can, because it's so long, there's so much track going out and back, and it's really an awesome ride to look at from like an aerial view too, because you never get this view of Beast. You don't get to see Beast other than now, I guess with Vortex being removed, you can kind of see the first lift hill a lot better, but you still can't see like the rest of the layout, which is hidden behind the trees and stuff, which now you can see because of this Coaster Dynamics model. You can see like the full layout, which is really awesome. So that's my other favorite type of park merchandise. I also really like my Curse of Dark Castle front car train piece that I got, which is basically like the wolf emblem, which is so awesome. It used to be on the front car of Busch Gardens Williamsburg's Curse of Dark Castle, and I think it's really sick. I think it's one of my favorite pieces of merchandise, just because, again, as we stated when someone mentioned they liked buying stuff at auctions, I like having it because it's like, man, this used to be on the front car of a ride that I used to ride. I probably rode in the train that this used to be on, which is kind of cool to think about. I don't know why. I just think it's really awesome. And then an honorable mention that I saw while at Hollywood Nights was this shirt by Made to Thrill, and I don't have it, but that's why it's an honorable mention, because I don't actually physically have it. But it's a shirt that says Trim Brakes, but it has Trim Brakes crossed out. I think that's so cool. I'm honestly considering buying it. I really like it. I think it's really cool.
It makes me cringe.
No, it's a really awesome shirt. It makes you cringe. If it makes an older guy cringe, then I'm okay with it.
It just perpetuates this like whole thing of like, there's a trim brake on it. It can't be good.
No, I mean,
Really?
I think trim brakes normally do impact the ride experience, though. Even if it's not like significant, I would rather not have the trim brakes there. I understand that they're like, especially when we were at Hollywood Nights, it was like Voyage running trimless, which was awesome. So they did turn the trim brakes off. So I think it's especially fit for that, and it was funny, and I liked it.
The bigger problem, like, yes, there are coasters that you can do that. I mean, obviously, there's no way they could run Voyage like that all the time. But there are some coasters that without the trim brakes, it would be extremely painful. And that's the thing. It's just like, hearing the stuff about Beast, that's one of the examples that really, really frustrates me, is people complaining about how, they slowed Beast down because of the trim brakes. They haven't. It's it's the same speeds that it's always been. The only difference is they're newer brakes that feel like they're slowing you down more. They grab harder, but it still, like, you have to, like, you can't let the train run wild.
All right. Well, I don't necessarily hate trim brakes like on existing rides, but I mean, I'm not a fan of them. Like, I don't know any enthusiasts like, yes, there's trims here. So it's just like, for me,
it's not like,
more trims. That's all I want.
I don't expect anybody to be like that. I just hate this like unrealistic hatred of trim brakes that just goes on.
I just think it's kind of a cool thing. It's just like if a shirt said airtime or something. It's just
I mean, yes, I agree with you. It's just kind of one of those things that just
there are some people that take it to the next level. Yeah,
right. That's the problem. That's why the shirt kind of bugs me. Like, I understand that you're looking at it from a different angle, and I get that, and I'm with you on that. But I mean, there's so many people, like, the coaster's not even finished, and they're like, oh, it has a trim brake on it. Like, it's gonna be horrible. Like, are you kidding me? I haven't even nobody's been on it. It's not even finished yet. and people were complaining about the trim brakes. It's just like it's unreal.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get why people complain about stuff they haven't experienced.
That is a fair point. I will 100% agree with that. Especially, I hate all the lists on YouTube about like the top 400 roller coasters on the world or the top 500 roller coasters in the world. It's like, you've ridden like 5 of these. How can you rank all of them and with a straight face tell me that this is an accurate list? It's just not.
Right. Because you don't feel the trim brakes on the POVs. I don't care how much.
All right. Well, that is about it for this week's episode of Coaster Talk Podcast. What is your favorite launch sequence? That is next week's weekly poll. So, launch sequence for us, our definition of this is events leading up to the launch. So, not the actual launch itself. Because I thought maybe a couple people might go, oh, launch sequence. Oh, I like Top of Dragster. That's a forceful launch. No, we're not talking about the forcefulness of it. We're not talking about the intensity of it. We're not talking about the speed of it. We're talking about what leading up to the launch is the best. So, there's
spiels,
yes,
sounds,
thematic elements, sounds, music, fog, whatever. Let us know. That's an exciting topic that we'll discuss next week. Go to coastertalkpodcast.com/poll if you want to answer that, or you can follow us on Twitter at coastertalk_pod, at coastertalkbob, Facebook at coastertalkpod, Instagram at coastertalkpod if you want to answer the poll as well, because we'll have them on all 3 of our social media pages as well. If you want to contact the show with any comments, questions, concerns, or if you want to submit an audio file to the show, go to coastertalkpodcast.com/contact. If you want to email me, you can do so by going to...
I'm just going to export my stream as is.
Oh, no, I'm making a joke, though. Going to...
so...
I'm going to say, or if you want to talk about Bob's vanity plate. If you want to email Bob about his vanity plate.
Yeah, you could just say that.
Okay.
You can do so by to follow up? I mean, I can edit it. I can cut.
You can do so by going... I think it sounds weird when it's just like me all the way and then like that's it. Like it's kind of cool when it's like there's Bob a little bit at the end there. Like when it's just me saying this whole spiel. I know I have to because it would... I guess I don't know. If you want to email me...
All right. Where are you picking up from?
Let me look. 1335. 132. What am I talking about? 1 hour, 32 minutes, and 34 seconds. 35 seconds.
Wait, what?
1 hour, 32 minutes, and 36 seconds, actually.
We're way off.
What are you at?
132.16.
Oh. We're cool then. That's because you just stopped, I think, when I was recording still.
I don't think so. I don't know.
Either way, I figure this happens every week, so it's all right.
All right.
Just start recording.
All right. 3, 2.
Email me, James at coastertalkpodcast.com. If you want to email Bob about his vanity plate, email Bob at coastertalkpodcast.com.
Let me know what park, what design, and bonus points if I can order it online.
Ooh. Get some kudos with the co-host of Coaster Talk, or the host of Coaster Talk Podcast. No longer the co-host.
Yes.
No longer the co-host. That name's been retired.
I've been promoted.
We're both hosts. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. We'll see you guys next week. You could say bye too if you wanted.
I could have. Oh well. What's done is done.
Let it go. Let it go. Can't take it back anymore. I don't know why that just got in my head. What's in the past is in the past. That's what I was thinking. That's one of the lyrics of that song. All right, live stream gang, those of you that stuck with us.
Yes, thank you for sticking with us.
Just repeating what I'm saying. Thank you for that too, Bob. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Too tired to think of an actual reply to that. All right. Well, I think we're going to end it here. Anybody who's here? Is it just... let me see. It's just me. I'm just kidding. Is it Edon?
Everybody abandon us?
Timmy's still here. Is Pam still here?
Timmy's still there.
Timmy, Pam.
Edon's still there.
Timmy, by the way, this isn't a door handle. This is like a rope. I mean, it's like a little like thing to hold these. Like I have like. I mean, you probably have more than me still, but it's not like. This is like 30. I can't believe I just did this, man. Now I have to put each one on individually. I hate when I do this. I actually like take the lanyards off, and then now I have to put each one on individually. It's a command hook, yeah. No. I hate this so much. I'm gonna count how many I have though. Now that I have this. Schnizzle. 1. And these are all. I have a bunch more too.
Holy crap.
Oh, you're saying yours doesn't. Okay, I thought you were saying. I have a bunch more. The reason I just put one individually on.
Export wait.
What? 2. These are. I have like a bunch more. I just have these on individually because I don't want to have. That's 5. I have duplicates of these all.
Is that? Sometimes I think it's like anything. It depends on where you're at. Like, it's amazing how many different things it's been. Like, apparently, some places it's gum bands, rubber bands. Sorry, I know people not from Pittsburgh don't know what a gum band is.
10.
Your lanyards bring all the girls to the yard.
12. 13. 14. 15. 16. 16. 17. 18.
Hold on. I need to turn the air back on.
That's 20 right there. That's 20. So I have 20 lanyards just there. But I probably have like 30 or 40 in terms of, because I have like duplicates of the same ones, which is kind of annoying. So I don't like that actually. But
Oh my god. It feels better already.
all right, I'm going to end the stream because I have some homework to do.
What?
Goodbye, everybody.
Can't keep the ladies off you?
Bob's got to pick up on that. All right.
I mean, the nano coasters maybe, but it's all about like airtime T-shirts.
Play again
is why-
T-shirts from Kings Island, right?
Yeah, this is why I'm 40 years old and still single.
Ooh.
Yeah, my coaster count. Yeah, yeah.
I talk to them about all the woodies I've ridden, and that really gets them going.
All the ways you've ridden.
All the woodies I've ridden.
Oh, Woody's. Okay, that makes sense.
They're like,
Sort of.
yeah, I like that. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Give a good bow to the audience, guys. Thank you. We'll be back next week. I have to go.
All right, see you guys.